learn how to defend yourself.
All right. I'm actually half Egyptian.
Let me bring this up. I know it's going to be super racist, but, you know, I live in the South. I live in the South, and black people complain about slavery all the time down there. You didn't give me that job because I'm black, you know, and the whole thing is, I live in the Section 8 housing because I'm black. You gave me the speeding ticket because I'm black. Who cares about slavery?
Later, next week, we might get a cheek.
God.
Yeah. Let me just say this. I don't think you're going to heaven. Cut that last part out.
No, don't. Leave it on. Leave it on.
Oh, my God.
You cut that. Next week.
Are you afraid you'll get a hater wings? I was going to cut it right after the heaven part.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the machinima out here, and I'm going to redraw a contract. You got to really cut that chink part out.
I can cut that out for you. I'll hook you up. You don't have to worry about it.
That's a podcast exclusive. Mr. Yellow Dick Swagger, shut the fuck up. Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Okay, guys, this is a video from Internet Anarchist called "Is Sunny V2 Faking Videos?" I don't know how he would do that. I'm Liquid Papa God. Dude, honestly, I'm a liquid Wings of Redemption. Let's get to it, honestly.
Take it up
Alright, this video here is called Wings of Redemption Down the Rabbit Hole. I've been catching myself, like, watching Wings of Redemption, like, meme compilations and stuff. It's pretty bad stuff. We watched a little intro on Wings of Redemption, and it really wasn't. It was by Sunny V2. He always omits, like, really relevant information. So, let's go down the rabbit hole, because I'm actually curious. Play it on a little bit increased speed, you know the drill, my friends.
While many content creators from the early days of YouTube are still active online, there are few with a reputation as mixed as that of Geordie Jordan, better known as Wings of Redemption.
Bro, whose fucking mom would name them Geordie Jordan? Like, that's gotta be a hate crime, you know? Like, why would you name your kid Geordie Jordan?
When compared to Darkside Phil, Geordie is still remembered fondly from the days when he was popular enough to launch the careers of other YouTubers simply by exposing them to his audience. Nowadays, however, searching for him online will reveal numerous videos compiling clips of him streaming on twitch.tv, showcasing moments of rage and frustration, as well as online harassment targeted towards him. What's remarkable about these compilation videos is just how much attention they receive, sometimes over 50,000 views in less than a week, and with enough time, they will often accumulate view counts in the hundreds of thousands, while one has reached 1.4 million.
Look here! Look, listen! You ain't gonna find us.
Similarly, some of the
Like him. Look here, listen! Am I just like him?
channels that compose these compilations have thousands of subscribers, with the most popular, Sean Ranklin, boasting almost 50,000. And while Geordie seems to have once had friends willing to support him, they now deride him with much the same glee and enthusiasm as those looking to harass him.
And Wings just got confused and shaved his whole head and beard with a razor. And now he looks like a milk dud. Now he looks like a thumb. He looks awful.
Dude, is that what they do now? After he went off their show, they just make fun of him all the time? I mean, I get it, because I'm pretty sure they were friends, and he was kind of a shitty friend, so I kind of get it. I don't really blame him for that, but that's still shitty.
So who is Wings of Redemption, and how did he go from being one of YouTube's most popular creators to the subject of widespread and perpetual ridicule?
Keemstar is plotting this? I don't doubt it, dude. Keemstar probably loves Geordie.
In the late 2000s, only a few years after YouTube was made available, a new kind of video content was gaining popularity, known as Call of Duty commentary, which would chiefly consist of footage captured from the eponymous game, a similar first-person shooter type.
You know what's crazy? After I did my first video, when I watched the Sunny V2 when I posted it, like my reaction to it, my commentary on it, I made fun of Call of Duty players for being like losers, right? And like we all know it's true, but all gamers are losers, and I'm literally playing games, so it's a shot at myself. I feel like most people understood that, but some people took it super personally. They're like, "Oh, okay, so anybody who plays Call of Duty is like a loser." Like, well, it's like, yeah, yes, you are, and the fact that you're getting upset about it is your problem. But like, take the joke, bro. It's not that fucking serious, you know? I get so offended.
titles. The commentary in these videos would often be related to the gameplay, but other times the videos served as a vehicle for musings by the creator on any variety of topics. Among these early creators were names still active today at varying levels of popularity, such as C-Nanners, Hutch, Taves, and Dr. Disrespect, who utilized the format to increase their initial popularity. Of this group, however, there was one in particular that stood out, a man named Jordy Jordan, going by Wings of Redemption, or simply Wings. He took to the style of video quickly. 2 weeks after a test upload of himself playing Call of Duty World at War with no voice track, he released his first commentary video on October 24th, 2009.
Hello. Yeah, hi again. This is my first commentary, and here we go. I was going to do a shotgun vid I recorded today, but well...
Though he had little trouble talking for long periods during the 10-minute runtime, he apologized both during his commentary and in the description for various things, including long pauses and his choice of subject matter. Even so, he found himself comfortable creating videos, and soon he was steadily producing new content, including commentary videos as well as shorter videos, highlighting impressive feats he accomplished in the game. Though his opinions were strong, he was still viewed as maintaining an affable and relatable personality. Perhaps interested in maintaining an air of authenticity, he would continue to record his commentary as a single take, restarting the recording if he was not satisfied, but willing to accept minor errors.
Interesting.
Oh, man.
Same, you know what I'm saying?
It's late, I'm tired, and I'm ready to get this over with. This is take 3 on the commentary on this because I've been having a brain fart, and I've bitched entirely way too much about scoping in my last 2 attempts.
What is he doing commentary on?
He soon began using a short intro, labeling himself as Intense Camping Productions, a play on the camping strategy common to first-person shooters. During this time, he would engage frequently with his commenters, and even stated that they were having a positive impact on him.
And before I go on with that, let me just say I want to thank all the subscribers for tuning in and watching my videos, and hopefully rating them at some point. But I'm going through a hard time in my life right now. And the more support you guys are giving me, fantastic. I always said, love outweighs the hate. Damn true, brother.
While the precise numbers are uncertain, he quickly was receiving thousands of views within the first month, an impressive number both for the time and for such a new channel. His subscriber count also began to grow in tandem. But this attention was both positive and negative. Because his in-game username was visible in his videos, people would message him on his console, wanting to be his friend or asking for game advice. They would even join his games mid-session, and their skill levels would vary widely, which could influence his ratio of wins to losses.
I feel like that's like a really weird... I feel like there are probably some people who are just annoying as fuck. I want to say the pulls up. And I kind of feel bad because, like, dude, it's one of those things where I can imagine it's got to be super tilting to have people messaging you all the time, like, oh, is there advice and stuff. It's probably really cool at first, but probably gets old, especially since some people are just, like, asking you for, like, weird troll advice.
Which he felt important. However, it was the comments in his videos that would prove the more emotionally taxing. The Call of Duty community is well known for decrying certain playstyles as illegitimate or lesser, and among these is the aforementioned camping strategy, wherein a player chooses a single location and waits for opponents to approach. This more methodical method of play was Jordy's favorite tactic, and one that he was unashamed of using, though he was clearly self-conscious of it to the point that he felt the need to defend himself over its use in his very first commentary video.
I just wanted to get this off my chest because some people think I'm a camper, which I am a camper. I ain't gonna lie to you, I camp to fucking win. If it requires me to camp to get the upper hand on you, I will camp.
But this did little to dissuade criticism. While viewers agreed that Jordy routinely displayed high-level gameplay, his usage of the strategy invoked occasional ire in the comment sections. This quickly wore at Jordy's patience, and he would soon begin to respond to these commenters. On November 23rd, less than a month after his first commentary upload, he created a video titled Point of Address, in which he discussed the multiple issues he had begun to face.
If I'm playing in a game, I don't want y'all to come in and try to enjoy the game. Because what happens is you actually use my tips against me. I mean, I don't want to have to try hard every game I play. Oh, and don't ask me what my penis size is and stuff. Serious questions.
But you know why I'm laughing? Because, like, I get what he means. Like, it's nice to not have to try all the time. But it's so crazy how games have evolved like, ranked games have evolved over a period of time. Because nowadays, every ranked game you really play will be pretty hard in any game. Because they have they've been mastering the MMR. But back when I played Dota 2, like, I was actually really good at Dota 2. I was top 3% at Dota. And, a lot of my games, like, you had your varying games that were super easy versus super hard, and it's because there wasn't like a really well displayed meta, and people were always jerking around, and like there wasn't really a good FFF, like a forfeiting system, and you could play with whoever you want. So I would play with my shitty friends too, and like they would suck, which means the enemy team would have like a good player, but they'd also have a shit player, and you know it was a fucking shit show. It was a free for all the time. But it's like funny because nowadays, like, it's all about always fighting people that are difficult to play against. Like, that's how like the whole thing works. So it's funny to hear it because I can empathize with his feeling from back in the day. Because I've even seen people complain about Fortnite because they implemented an MMR system. Like, I had a buddy, he's like, I wish that like I go into games and all of them are hard. There's no more like, easy games, and I get it, but it's just funny to hear you complain about that. Also, the penis thing's kind of funny.
I mean, I'll seriously thumb down anybody who just messes around and wants to know, doesn't put my finger up my dog's butt or something like that. Oh, let's be serious.
Later that same day, he released another video sharing a bit more about himself and his living situation, asking for donations towards an Xbox 360 so he could play with viewers.
First and foremost, a lot of people have asked me, am I going to ever invest in an Xbox? I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, people in the chat are like, oh, yeah, you quit Fortnite because they implemented the system. I get that. I understand that it's nice to just, like, beat shitters sometimes. I totally get it. Because it's just better for your mentality when you don't always have to try the hardest. It's probably why it's harder to get good in games nowadays, is because you're always fighting, like, the most difficult version of people because of the MMR system. Because I feel like people, like, obviously, if you're not playing good players, you're fucking bad. But I feel like when you get to a mix between high and low stress gameplay, it's a lot better for you to get better, because sometimes it's good to really test yourself, but then sometimes it's good to just not test yourself, to just like chill out, have some free wins, like, get your confidence up, shit like that.
I'm getting an Xbox, but I'm currently unemployed at the time. I got laid off my job October 14th, and I'm currently on unemployment. So that means I cannot splurge whatsoever, because I went from making $1,000 a week to $350.
Curly Daddy 101 just resubscribed for 14
Curly.
months. Papa, it's me, Gideon. Please help, I am stuck in New York City surrounded by liberals. I'm so scared. I got the vaccine and now they want me to take an extra one. Hashtag frick patriarchy.
Hey, listen, come visit, come to visit my house, Gideon. I'll have a bed ready for you, okay?
If 500 of you
for the
donate $1, I would be able to get an Xbox 360, Modern Warfare 2,
True.
A year's worth of Xbox Live, and the cables for HD PVR. And I can play with Xbox people. I mean, stresses do not have to give me money.
However,
It's kind of weird because he's like, hey, guys, I'm unemployed. Please give me money for a video game. It's like, okay, it's kind of shitty, no? But then he goes like, I guess I kind of get it, but I don't know. Get a job, bro.
also began feeling a need for his videos to perform well.
I guess
he
they
noted
didn't
what he
monetize
perceived
back
as the
then.
low number of
They really
ratings he was
monetized.
receiving in relation to his view counts.
My videos get around 2,000 views now, and they're still only getting 200 ratings.
What does that mean?
I spent a lot of time in these videos,
What is a rating?
and if you could just click any of the stars, I don't care if you want a 1 star, but a lot of time in.
Is that how YouTube used to work?
Could you please just help me out, and when you watch the videos, put a rating on it. Because I put a lot of videos out. I'm not like other commentators that put one video out a week.
Bro, I feel this is like creeping me out because I've jokingly said that me and Jordy are like brothers, but the similarities are fucking stupid. Like, we used to both be gamers. I mean, I actually used to be good at a video game. I know that it's crazy because my path wasn't a video game path when I guess I got older. I shit post. Like, I'll post upwards of 5 videos a day on YouTube. I used to be an edgy gamer too. I feel like, I don't know, dude. I'm not really proud of it, dude, but I think maybe this is my brother, bro. This is my separated fucking birth, dude. I mean, it may be. Look at us too. We look like the same, except for like I'm more attractive, but it's like the movie Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's Danny DeVito,
Or they have time to go back and do the animations and all this thing. I forget to do a lot of that mess because I just put videos out in bulk. I usually put
Within the first 2 months, Jordy had gained a reputation for speaking whatever came to his mind, but this propensity pulled him into controversy almost immediately.
Great. I kind of have that too, so great.
In a now-deleted video, Jordy decried those who practice a technique called quickscoping, arguing that it was too unrealistic to be legitimate.
Oh, that's...
In particular, he attacked another Call of Duty commentator who went by Hutch. These comments, perhaps unsurprisingly, drew ire from Hutch's viewers. Rather than allow the feud to continue, the two of them decided to hold what they called a friendly debate, in which the two of them would discuss their particular grievances with the other, chiefly their playstyles, and record it. This recording was later released as a commentary video on December 13th, 2009.
I mean, I feel like quickscoping is, like, I mean, it has to be more talented than camping, right? Like, quickscoping, I don't know what the recoil is, you know, depending on the recoil is and whatnot. I feel like it has to be harder to quickscope than sit in a fucking corner. Like,
hosted on Hutch's channel. As he was introducing himself, Jordy revealed a few details about his own life.
I think he's 36.
Yo, it's your boy, Wings of Redemption.
Wow. That's quite an intro, buddy. Why don't you take it down a notch? Just, take it down maybe another 14 decibels.
Oh my god, what an asshole.
Oh, the Ebonics thing is something that my channel came accustomed to. I stopped it at one point, and people requested me to bring it back. It's not how I
Where are you
talk.
from that you're speaking Ebonics?
We call that African-American vernacular English now, guys. Okay, please. Ebonics. Bring that back. Bro, you know what? There obviously are white people who grow up in, like, whatever you want to call it, the projects or whatever the fuck that you pick that up. Like, that AAVE. So that's fine. You do you. But playing a fucking character that you're like, oh, I'm going to speak like a... what he's basically saying is, hey, I'm going to speak like a black person because people think it's funny. It's like, come on, dude. Like, that just seems ridiculous. It's whatever. I don't think it's cancelable. It's just dumb. I think he kind of reminds me of like a dumb Southern hick, honestly. But I think I'm right, no? Am I not right with that?
I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I actually grew up in the Holt Garden Project.
You're going to get slapped in the nuts for speaking Ebonics if you're from North Carolina.
South
Carolina. Oh. Are you white?
Yeah, I'm white. White as it comes. But I did grow up in a black predominant neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
When I grew up, the kids I hung out with spoke Ebonics.
I guess I qualifies you to speak Ebonics then, yeah?
The rest of the video stayed mostly civil, with both parties waiting patiently for the other to make their point and speaking with an enthusiastic but restrained candor, even though they couldn't come to a consensus. With the drama successfully diffused, Jordy continued to upload videos to his channel, and he grew rapidly. His propensity for sharing information about his life would increase as well.
Alright. Some people requested me to show some videos of some of my guns. I guess I'll start out with the Call of Duty guns that I own.
Oh my god.
He would often use his firearms as filler images when he wished to upload commentary without video content, specifically in his point of address videos, which became regular fixtures of the channel. Around this time, he was beginning to attract the attention not only of viewers, but of other gameplay channels. On January 4th, 2010, he released a dual commentary video with another commentator, going by Woody's Gamertag.
Where are they from? Woody Gamertag.
Yeah,
is that your actual name?
Woody's Gamertag is my
probably
actual gamertag, and I go by Woody, the unexceptional gamer.
This began a trend of inviting other commentators onto his channel to discuss the game and their opinions on strategy and tactics. He also had made a deal with Machinima to produce exclusive gameplay videos for their channel. Perhaps...
Oh yeah, isn't that back in the day where Machinima just stole all your money and YouTube didn't monetize it particularly well? That's like the fucked up times of YouTube, isn't it?
Feeling a new phase of his life beginning, he quickly cut ties with a different communal channel, Persona Gaming, and he did so by publicly ridiculing other people on the channel.
Oh, that's perfect.
They've got 3 or 4 people now that I just don't like. I mean, I don't want to say leeching off of us 3, but...
With his viewer base growing, he began showcasing other creators of varying sizes that he enjoyed by hosting their videos on his channel.
Because when Dr. Disrespect is surrounded by enemies, he means one thing, and one thing only.
He would also begin performing product reviews and partnering with other companies, though, like most other creators of the time, his production quality was limited. But his most successful inter-channel venture would begin 6 months after he began uploading. On April 27th, 2010, Jordy uploaded the first episode of a new podcast titled Painkiller Already, or PKA, alongside Call of Duty commentators Woody's Gamertag and FPS Russia, also known as FPS Kyle. The format was simple. The 3 hosts would talk with each other online and record the conversation, speaking with little direction and few notes. Podcasts of this kind were seeing a surge of popularity at the time, and with 3 relatively large names in the Call of Duty scene participating, along with a weekly upload schedule, it rapidly gained a considerable audience. Because these were made available almost entirely unedited, the production cost was extremely low, and their runtime would last anywhere from 1 hour to over 3 hours, tending to be longer as the series continued. Jordy's subscriber count began growing dramatically as the year continued, to the point that he felt comfortable showing his face.
I should do a podcast with TikTokers. I think it was funny because me, myself, Curly, and Joe Bart were talking about it a while ago. We just never did it. It's probably not a bad idea, though. You know, but you know.
At any rate, it's your boy, Wings of Redemption. I'm signing out.
It's like a fucking neckbeard.
Now that he was partnered with Machinima and he was beginning to see significant amounts of money, his ego was beginning to grow proportionally. This would manifest in frequent comments in his videos, rebuking those who disapproved of his playstyle, and he would even create a video where he again would attempt to legitimize his methods to those who disliked them.
Ho, 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 ho. Time to do some bitching. Alright, recently I put out a video called Flawless on the Invasion. And a lot of people were crying about commentary, a lot of people were crying about camping, a lot of people were crying about the weapon selection, you know. And let me address all this right now. What I did in that video was not camping in the least. I basically held down over half the map. Alright, I held down half the map, and I was moving constantly. You do not have to be moving into new areas of the game, of the map, to not be camping. Seriously, even Seed Adder says that mess, you know. I mean, yeah, people will call me a fat nerd for that, but guess what? You just get your ass blocked. Straight up. And about people who tries to threaten me with unsubscribing, I don't give a fuck, cunt. I don't give a fuck, kid. Seriously. I will block you out of bare spite. Because I know people that really enjoy my site would be willing to watch my video twice to get...
I don't have a problem with what he's doing. He's being kind of an asshole, but you know what? One of the things that really bothers me is that as a content creator, you're like not allowed to talk, like, to respond to people. There are people who disagree with you, and I'm totally fine with people disagreeing with me. I really am totally fine with that. But then there are people who are really, really rude. Like they'll say, and the worst are the people who pretend that they're nice. They're like, hey, you know, you're a fucking idiot, but I love you, and you're usually smart. It's like, oh, thanks for the compliment. Like, you're an asshole. And they'll do this intentionally. They play this game where they pretend to be nice and they pretend to give you criticism, but they're being really like shitty assholes. And then if you call them out, you're like, wow, why are you so rude? And it's like, you know, fuck you. I'm honestly kind of tired of it. Like, I should be able to call out shitty people. If you're not going to be respectful, disagreements, it doesn't matter if you're disagreeing or not. Like, but if you're going to be disrespectful, like, fuck yourself. I'm not allowed to do anything. Yeah, right. Like, you're not allowed to say anything socially because why? Because people might not like it. Well, you know, like that's bullshit. Because I was raised, to value respect. So people are going to be disrespectful and they're going to get away with it. They get to just like say disrespectful shit, and I got to take it. I got to fucking suck it up. You know, fuck that.
Ready your ass. Nobody wants your ass around here.
You're a loser.
Nobody wants a hater on my channel. I don't want haters. My subscribers don't want haters. If you want to hate, you ain't a subscriber. You block. That's what you are. Straight up.
Then again, I don't know how. Like, I doubt that Jordy does the same thing as me. He probably just like speaks out against everybody who disagrees with him. I only speak out against people who are disrespectful towards me. So probably a little bit different, you know.
Excuse me. I got a little head cold.
But as his popularity and confidence increased, his patience diminished. He began to upload highlight clips with increasing frequency, showcasing gameplay that frustrated him. This propensity for responding to negative comments became a part of Jordy's online image in the months following his...
That makes sense, though. It's like over-responding to stuff. That's why, honestly, I've been just hiding some people from channel that are super disrespectful. I'm like, you know what, it's not really worth it. Like, if you're going to be really dumb, I shouldn't respond, because it's a bad idea to respond to hate and not really respond to the positive stuff. That's a habit I've been breaking. It's just stupid, man. You get into all these dumb fucking conversations or arguments with people.
Channel's launch, and soon this would attract the attention of a group looking for people specifically like him. At the same time that Call of Duty commentary was gaining popularity, a group called the Federation of Asshole Gamers, or FAG, was organizing and releasing videos.
That's great. I would not join that group. Do you think that was appropriate to join? What a fucking time where shit like that was okay. What the fuck? Ridiculous.
Had no set formula for their efforts, it would typically involve a leading member streaming themselves playing a game and either harassing a single person themselves or organizing a group to harass one or more people in the same game with the streamer. Among the most popular within the group was a man named Daniel Keem, better known as DJ Keemstar.
I got a rocket. I got a red rocket.
Oh my god, what the
Say my name.
This is so
Say my name. Keemstar. Keemstar. Go girl. Go girl.
At some point in mid-2010, another Call of Duty commentator known as That Guy Who Camps approached Keemstar, stating that Jordy had been attacking him, and so the FAG, led by Keemstar, organized a mass false flagging operation on his channel, in which a large number of their viewer base flagged Jordy's channel videos as being inappropriate in order to have it removed from YouTube. In response, Jordy created a video asking people...
That's crazy, dude. Wait, so Jordy did the right thing. He spoke out against fucking loser shit fuck Keemstar. And then, they retaliated because she's a little pussy. Okay.
To persuade members of the FAG away from flagging his channel, though his tone sounded more fed up than frustrated.
They're going to be trying to flag and thumbs down my videos, which in result will getting my account banned, and I'll have to go through the long, lengthy process of getting it back. To help protect my channel, if you could go and not subscribe to his live stream, but kind of go in the comment section and persuade people not to do this. I'm not telling you to flag his videos or anything on his channel, because I've already got footage of his channel threatening my personal space and my personal use, and I'm going to try to send that to the administration department over at Blog TV and see if that gets done. But I'm not telling you to take any action. Let me get that point clear. But let's work and try to keep my channel live if possible. Thank you.
This request proved ineffectual, and the FAG was able to successfully abuse YouTube's automated systems, racking up over 30 strikes on his channel. Protected by Machinima, his channel would remain on the site, but Machinima demanded that Jordy resolve the issue, and so he organized a meeting with Keemstar, moderated by another Call of Duty commentator. Jordy at first played innocent, but it soon became clear that he had counterattacked Keemstar with similar vigor by weaponizing his viewer base.
DJ Keemstar. Have you ever thought that everything I do is behind the scenes because I'm not doing anything?
I don't know. I don't believe that. I seen a conversation with you and Tubox on Skype, and again, Tubox.
And that conversation was me asking Tubox to talk to you to get you to stop, spamming my channel.
Oh, you're threatening him that you're going to sue us, you're going to do this.
Well, why is that good? He should sue you. I don't know. Like, you're going to hurt his money because you're going to lie about him and abuse the system. How is it? Did people look at this as they were equal things? That's not retaliation. And what are you talking about? Keemstar deserved it. This is ridiculous. Like, Jordy got fucked by Keemstar. And he said, yeah, I'm going to sue this guy, justifiably so, and we're pretending that's his retaliation.
You're going to do that. You're saying jail time.
Because he was putting up one of those fronts just like everybody else, and it was more of a scare tactic. But see, that's behind the scenes kind of stuff.
This last round was caused by a comment that Wings wrote. He said, and I believe this is the correct quote, Nick, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've already killed FAG. I don't understand why you wrote that comment. Because our channel has been under attack, there's false copyright complaints on it to the point that it's suspended until YouTube reviews it, and now we have someone that's taking credit for killing our channel. I don't understand why you wrote that.
Wait, so I'm so confused. Wait, what's the narrative here? So Keemstar did this fucking campaign against Jordy, and to mass flag his videos first, and then he's bitching that his shit got taken down. Like, okay, you started it. Fuck you. I don't understand. You can't bitch and moan about that. I hate how it's like so weird that this guy gets to play the victim, and people go like, "Oh yeah, you are the victim." He's not the victim, dude. Keemstar's such a loser. Holy fuck. This is crazy, dude.
You should have seen that was going to come anyway. You attacked a channel that was 4 times your size. I mean,
well, we have 62,000 subscribers. I think you have 90.
I have 100,000 subscribers, and I also have 120,000 podcast viewers that don't even look at YouTube.
Any thoughts on our discussion here, Wings?
Yeah, I'll ceasefire.
But this apparently wasn't justice enough for Jordy. Immediately following the stream, and after asking if they had privacy, Jordy had one last threat to pose to Keemstar, one far beyond what either had levied against one another so far.
Alright, well I got your DJ Keemstar. I'll run some stuff by you. Is your P.O. Box 148 Holland, New York 1408?
That's correct. That's correct.
Is your street address? York 140809702.
That's incorrect. That's incorrect. Right. I don't give my personal where I live at.
That's pretty fucked up. I mean, it's one of those things where I think you're such a bad person that I don't really care, but then also I know I should care. You shouldn't be doxing people. That's fucked up. That's taking it too far. Yeah, that's shitty. Okay.
I'll give that out.
Is your girlfriend named Melissa Armstrong?
Oh my God.
Yes, she is.
Is her phone number 7165?
Is she 14 years old, Keemstar?
8263.
Okay, can I ask you why you're trying to get my personal information?
I'm just trying to see how much of this is correct, because I gave some of this information to Fisticuffs.
You gave my personal information to Fisticuffs?
Yep.
Okay, so should I find out what trailer park you live in and announce that to the world?
I don't live in a trailer park, my man.
So what was the motivation behind this action?
Oh, this is, well, basically, I did some digging, and I tried to find everything I could find out about him in case he actually did drop my YouTube channel.
I mean, listen, okay, so, yeah, I get where he's coming from. Like, I mean, I don't just necessarily disagree with getting the information just in case you needed to do something if they really fucked your shit. Because if they actually took down his YouTube for no reason, just because they wanted to over mass reporting strikes, then I'd be like, yeah, well, you know what? Like, is this you? Like, I'm gonna sue the fuck out of you. I know where you live. I have all the information. Fuck you. Okay, whatever. But I don't know, man. Like, again, it's Keemstar, so I care less. But also, I know that it's not the right thing to do is to dox people, especially since he didn't lose anything from it. Like, I understand the retaliation of getting people. Like, if Keemstar is going to weaponize people against you to pull you down, you do it against him. The fact that you're still up is a win for you, and it's a loss for him. Whatever, I don't care. But then there's no reason to take it further. So this just seemed like kind of like I'm gonna fucking. It's just not the right thing to do. You shouldn't try to put people in personal danger.
Alright. Well, this is a good example, though. Like,
you know, I was gonna take a trip up to New York.
You might be going back looking like a raccoon.
Maybe, like, none of this would have been necessary. You know, maybe even if you did it on your own, you didn't need to bring it up now, though. You know what I mean?
I'm just letting him know that. I'm just letting him know it's out there, and that way he won't be surprised.
You know how many people threaten me a day? It's like, I know that you're a bully and that you get off on bullying people, but like, I'm one person that is just going to constantly have that middle finger in the air. It's never.
That's like ironic that Keemstar's calling someone a bully. What, dude? What, dude? What the fuck?
We're going to go down. It's always going to be fuck you. No one is ever going to fucking talk me into submission or anything. So whatever you're trying to do, just stop now. Because the middle finger is right here.
I'm letting you know that
I'm not scared. I'm not intimidated in any way.
I'm not trying to intimidate.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Trying to say my girlfriend's name. They're trying to say where I live, what my P.O. box is.
Well, isn't your P.O. box available to everybody, though? I feel like isn't that why people make P.O. boxes? I don't know about that part. Maybe he didn't have that available.
Let's not be fucking weird Silence of the Lambs about it, Wings. And,
hey, I can't help. I'm a precision marksman.
Despite this threat, it appears.
Yeah, see, that's where it gets worse, is that he's like, oh, maybe I'm going to show up. I'm a precision marksman. Like, you're going to shoot the guy? Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, keep it to yourself. It's fucked up. I mean, Keem's definitely upset, which is funny, but then again, it's just fucked up. You shouldn't be doing that shit.
Here's nothing more came of it. Still, the FAG channel on YouTube would remain permanently offline, while Jordy's would survive with little to no lasting impact.
The fact that there was a fucking thing called FAG in the first place is... Dude, but how did YouTube let that happen? Like, that's like the edgy loser shit. Like, oh, we have a channel called FAG, haha, get it? Because we're homophobic? Like, what's the joke there? I don't really get it.
The year and a half that passed, Jordy would reveal more of himself and his personal life. Of note were the videos of his brother, who had recorded them to send to his family while on deployment in the military, and another of him returning home for a visit. Jordy would become more and more comfortable showing his face as well, which garnered him occasional ridicule over his weight. Yeah,
he is pretty fucking fat. I'm just fucking with you, brother. I'm fat too, but I'm really hot. Look at that. I really got to get back into the gym because I just have a naturally beautiful frame, dude. I'm so hot, bro. You know, once this commentary thing stops, I'm just fucking around by the way, but once this commentary thing stops, man, I could definitely do like gay bear OnlyFans and make a sustainable living, you know? You know what I'm saying, dude? Godly genetics.
For time, he would begin to use his channel for numerous things other than his gaming videos. He continued the practice of allowing other Call of Duty commentators to upload a video onto his channel, perhaps in an effort to help others grow in the same way that he had grown. He would also occasionally make philanthropic videos, such as an instance in which he gave a specialized controller to a paraplegic gamer, or when he began requesting donations for a charity.
That's pretty cool.
As Jordy's channel grew, so did his podcast, and he quickly established himself as the central fixture within it, earning a considerable income. Though the numbers are not precisely known, Jordy's financial situation had improved considerably, and according to FPS Kyle, he was making approximately $10,000 a month at this time. Despite this, he still seemed to casually treat his channel as a personal repository. More egregiously, he uploaded another person's video from Twitter onto his channel, under the pretense that he simply wanted to share it.
You might think, man, Wings, you got 1,000 videos of your own. Why would you need to steal? I don't need to steal. The way it is a misunderstanding, and it was blown way out of proportion like everything is with me. That's why I'm always so bitter and always angry at everything.
I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I've seen some of this shit, and like the way that he apologizes for things is usually a backpedal. That's the thing, because I obviously go into all these videos with the benefit of the doubt, but I've seen so much from Jordy that like he will usually lie about the things that he's done. Like I've seen shit where he's like, oh yeah, I was in a room with like a 17-year-old when I was like late 20s or early 30s, and I was like hitting on them, but it was just a joke. I was reading the room, they were into it, and it's like, bro, what? Instead of just being like, yeah, that was fucking inappropriate, like I fucked up, that would have been all that's it, you know what I mean? So.
Xbox dance!
By this point, he had also begun dating a woman named Shalene, whom he had met on a dating website. Shalene was already a mother of 2 children before they had met, and Jordy quickly took to a parental role. He began providing financially for the 3 of them in every way, as Shalene had no job and...
Damn, that's some fucking simp shit, dude. What are you doing? That's nice. I mean, that's nice of him taking care of another person's, like, the kids. It's a really good thing, you know? So good for him, you know? That's nice. I mean, like, you know, I really do think that shows at least, like, a little bit of, like, being a good person, you know what I mean? It's gotta be a little bit of something. It's gotta mean something.
It seemed to have little desire to get one, instead choosing to rely on Jordy's income as she raised her children.
Probably.
It was also around this time that Jordy was beginning to receive more harassment in the comments of his videos, and he was reacting to it more and more. He gained a reputation for being aggressive to his subscribers, something he would have...
Bro, this is a fucking story that I gotta pick up on this, you know? Maybe I gotta stop telling my subscribers that are really rude to me that they're terrible people. I just leave them alone, you know? I guess I gotta just eat the game, you know? That's what I gotta do. Because Jordy just go ballistic. And it's not good for him.
Attempt to refute.
The thing is, I get criticized and ridiculed all the damn time saying I hate my subscribers. I don't care about my subscribers. I don't care about dumbasses. Look here, if you want to sit here and criticize and belittle me and say I ain't shit or that I'm fat, fuck you. I don't give a shit about your ass. And for the most part, a lot of my subscribers are not up to par. Nobody wants to play with a guy that goes, 14-14. Nobody wants to play with a guy that's a liability on your team. Do you really want to play with a guy going 2-27 and you're dodging air support because of him? No, you don't.
I mean, but that's the thing, right? So back when I played Dota, there was an MMR system. It was just fucking garbage. So you could play with your shitty friends. You can play with your shitty friends, which is a nice thing. That's the thing, though. Those shitty players is what makes your game easier, because if you have a shitter on your team, that means that the other team's going to have a shitter too, or they're going to have an overall lower team. Now, maybe I'm wrong about the Call of Duty, whatever thing. Maybe I'm wrong about the way that it works. I don't know. I know how Dota worked, and that was like 10 years ago plus. So, you can't complain about that, bro.
I might have anger issues, and I might have a little social issues from being always a loner and being overweight and all. And that addresses a lot of things. Why I can't be like a Woody's gamer tag and, be like, everything's going to be all right. And, and give that kind of, fatherly-like advice. But I am what I am, and that's the only thing I can do. I don't try to stress over things I cannot change.
Though he claimed not to care, he continued to dedicate not only mentions, but entire videos to arguing against these comments. This culminated in a video released on April 10th, 2011, titled, "This is Why I Am Always Hostile," in which members of his team during a game of Call of Duty derided him and shouted his username.
Introduction! Fuck, we lost Dave. It's your boy, Introduction!
Oh my god, dude.
Hey, Wings of Redemption, you got any more ice cream, you
This video likely had the unintentional side effect of spurring such harassment, as he was now giving them attention in videos, beginning a cycle of harassment.
That's the thing, though. When you got trolls, you can't give them attention, or they're just going to do more troll shit. It's one thing because, truly, I mean, you could usually tell the difference between a troll and a disrespectful person. Like, there's a character from a show called The Good Place named Eleanor something, and she's a bitch in the show. That's the whole point of the show. and somebody's name that in my comments will say dumb shit to me, and I know that they're trolling because they're just acting like that character. So you don't respond to that kind of shit. You gotta differentiate the trolls.
And encouragement. But even as he was losing patience with viewers, he was mending relationships with other creators and building connections. For example, on July 3rd of 2011, he uploaded a video of himself in person with Keemstar. Perhaps more surprising was the fact that they were at the mansion of Alki David, a man who had inherited a net worth of $1.5 billion to compete in Call of Duty for a cash prize. This event was interchangeably called the Battle Cam Bowl and the Billionaire Showdown. Despite these promising prospects, his confrontational attitude would only worsen until it culminated in an event that many considered to be the moment when his career changed completely. On August 25th, 2011, the hosts of the Painkiller Already podcast gathered to record their 67th episode to thousands of viewers live. They had eventually chosen to change their recording methods. Rather than simply recording and then uploading the podcast to hosting sites and YouTube, they would stream the recording sessions to Justin TV, with 3 main sections: a pre-show, the podcast itself, and a post-show. While the podcast would only run for approximately an hour and a half, this stream would last for upwards of 3 hours, sandwiching the official part of the podcast with casual conversation. This particular week, their guest was an up-and-coming Call of Duty commentator who went by Syndicate. Syndicate had gained popularity by playing the cooperative game mode in Call of Duty called Nazi Zombies, or simply Zombies, which eschewed human opponents in favor of AI-controlled hordes of enemies. For the majority of the stream, the episode proceeded as normal, with Jordy discussing his newfound fatherhood.
I'm really digging the whole father figure guy. It's cool seeing, like, you're doing stuff with them and they're responding to it, and, you know, you're actually getting through to it, and you win those little battles, and those little battles feel like you win wars. It's like, you're just getting him to say what he feels.
What a fucking wholesome fucking thing to say. Holy shit. This guy is, like, the most fucking weirdest fucking guy in the world, dude. Like, he's a fucking enigma, you know? Like, on the one hand, he's calling people the N-word, and on the other hand, he's, like, taking care of someone else's kids and, like, truly valuing that experience. Fucking insane. Like, this guy is fucking insane, dude. It's just, it doesn't even make sense to me sometimes, man. Holy fuck.
Like, instead of, I don't know, or because...
However, during the post-stream, Jordy began to mention his low opinion of Syndicate's abilities and his chosen play mode, while simultaneously showing his ignorance about it.
So if you want to try and get all the zombies, like say it's an insta-kill and there's a zombie to your right, you know, you want to make the most of it or something.
I've had this debate with people so often. Let's just go back to multiplayer, where my experience is at.
But wait, we're not talking about multiplayer, right? Like, I think Syndicate would...
No, there's no difference. What's the difference between a zombie behind you and a guy with a gun behind you? What's the difference?
The difference is if you're facing one way, you're going to turn all the way to turn around to the zombie and you haven't got a quick revival.
I look at it like this. If you get yourself in that position, you deserve to die.
Not at all. Because zombies,
As they argued and Jordy continued to profess his skill, Woody had a proposition.
See, I'm going to say this. You're talking to a guy who's probably 4 times the multiplayer than you are. No matter. It doesn't matter. There's no difference. I bet you right now. I bet you right now I can get on zombies and stay toe for toe with Tom and not even know the fucking map. You know why?
Oh, let's do it!
Oh, yeah. There it is.
You know why I can do this? Because I use my brain. I'm like, well, where's my back at?
Oh, yeah. Let's show it.
That's why
I'm not about to go and play 6 hours.
What? You were not going to play 6 hours?
Soon, Woody and fellow commentator Redneck were teasing and goading Jordy.
You're going to beat me on zombies because you play on 2 sensitivity, whereas I play on insane.
I'm saying insane does not mean shit.
Syndicate, I'd like to add this to the conversation. I am also much better at zombies than you, but I refuse to play or prove it or stream it or provide any kind of evidence about it, and because it would take me too long.
I didn't say I was better, so I'd go toe for toe with him. Like, I would kill.
Okay, all right. Well, then I take it back, Tom. I am just as good as you, but I refuse to play.
As they discussed further, Wings continued to describe his superiority in both skill and content creation.
Me, it's just a whole different thing. I try not to be fake, and me not being fake makes a lot of people not like me.
Not being fake.
Not being fake.
So you mean like...
Woody, however, had a retort.
I like how he's like, I'm not... people don't like me because I'm not fake. Dude, there's a thing called fucking common courtesy. Like, you don't have to be a dickhead, you know what I mean? Also, I wouldn't put myself in that spot. If I was like, I think I'm better than you at this, I'd be like, let's just, try it out, you know? But okay.
Feel quite a bit about Jordy's personality.
Your online personality didn't match your in-real-life personality.
Shit does.
Yeah, so my experience with, Jordy as opposed to Wayne was that in real life, you were much more sensitive, much more caring. In real life, you were, almost... gentle sounds like a put down. It's not what I'm going for. But, you were nice to everybody. And, there were... Yeah, I don't mean to none of this is meant to be put down. None of this, but there was like an endearing level of insecurity, right? You know, whereas like the Wings of Redemption in a lobby is full of bravado. I'm the best player to ever exist. I can beat Syndicate and zombies, right? Like, but the Wings of Redemption that I met in real life in Beverly Hills.
That makes sense to me, though. That really does make sense to me. Because again, like we were talking before, like, he's such a toxic dickhead on the internet, but then he fucking takes care of these kids that aren't even his own, and that's such a nice thing to do, you know, to be a father figure for kids that aren't yours is such an incredibly good thing. And it's like, how the fuck does that person exist?
You know, like not everything is easy for him. Not everything is so great, and you know, he's caring about other people, and you know, he was true and honest, and he was himself, but you know, he wasn't you know, like beat you over the head with self-confidence kind of guy at Beverly Hills.
Would you lick his face? Oh my god.
Well, at the one time, yeah.
Soon after, just as they seemed to be forgetting about the challenge Woody had suggested, Geordi went back to bragging, and while Syndicate had initially been humble, he shared his confidence in his ability at previous titles in the series.
I'm not upset about anything, dude.
I gotta take a piss.
I just know I know what I've been to, and I've played with every single commentator there is.
Because I've got quite a lot of friends who, you know, like in the same frame of mind, and it's like, there's no change in it. I know, you know, like most common ones I've played in the most, it's called 4-on-2, and I could probably beat you in them too. Well, you know, I'd do it for the fun of it. I'd go for it.
Let's do it.
So what map are we playing? I'd get my ass slapped, I know, but I'd still do it.
Yeah, the thing is...
But as Geordi's braggadocious claims reached their height, his anxieties were also revealed.
Well,
you know the reason I don't do it? Because if I happen to lose, I hear about it for years.
Exactly. So, like, if you lost against me, would you hear that for years?
Yes,
Probably not, because I wouldn't bring it up again.
No, but everybody in the stream would, and then they would tell somebody else, and then people that don't like me would get to it and start talking to you and saying it.
Yeah, but why'd you care?
But I know I'm not going to lose to you.
Well, then why is this so weird? I hate that. That's the worst thing. So what is he saying? He's like, I know I'll win, but if I lose, I won't hear the end of it. It's like, okay, that's what accountability is. You know, I don't understand. Who cares? Because all you really have to do, like, if you're gonna talk all this shit, that I actually don't have a problem with it. Like, whatever, you're gonna be an asshole, that's fine. But if you lose, just be like, you got me. Like, you're better than me. Like, I'm fucking bad. You know what I mean? That's all you gotta do. That's all you have to say. Just have to hold account. It's like people might tease you about it, but they're gonna even stop. If they see that you're a good sport, they'll be like, oh, he's just a toxic dickhead. But then, like, once he gets down to it, it's whatever. But you know, that obviously doesn't happen. So
due to his console being in a separate room from his PC, Syndicate could listen to the call as the other three discussed, but could not speak for the duration of the game. As Syndicate left to turn on his console, Geordi played a warm-up match. Soon, their duel began. Geordi and Syndicate utilized radically different playstyles. As previously mentioned, Geordi preferred positions that offered control over the map, and once he reached them, he would remain mostly static, exploiting the strength that the location provided. Syndicate, however, preferred a more mobile playstyle, rapidly moving from location to location in order to gain an advantage over his opponent and to make himself difficult to locate and pin. They would play on Bog, a map with a few long sightlines, and they would use M16s, a relatively long-range and high-damage weapon. These choices clearly favored Geordi's style, but Syndicate acquiesced, perhaps because he was unconcerned with victory and was more interested in sating Geordi's ego. The game would end either after 10 minutes or after one person had scored 30 kills. The map on which they were to play was defined by a single central location, known colloquially as the trash pile, or the hill. This hill not only offers omnidirectional cover for whomever controls it, but its height allows the person to apply pressure across the majority of the map, meaning that many games played on it are focused almost entirely on controlling this position. By the time the match began, approximately 4,000 people had gathered to watch, a considerable number for the time. Geordi spawned on the southern side of the map, while Syndicate spawned in the northeastern corner. Moving quickly, Geordi discovered Syndicate's position early, and within the first 12 seconds of the game, he had taken the first kill. But already, there was a problem. Geordi realized that they had forgotten to turn on the radar, so that neither Geordi nor Syndicate could tell the position of the other player without seeing them or hearing them. This meant that whoever was losing would be forced to play far more aggressively than normal in order to retake the lead before the timer ran out. Geordi noticed this immediately, stating that all he had to do was sit still and listen for Syndicate's footsteps.
She probably should have put radar on, so I used to be a bitch to sound right now.
However, due to slurred speech and poor microphone quality, many people interpreted this statement as insulting Syndicate and acting cocky. Syndicate, undeterred, respawned and immediately took the trash pile, using it to get his first kill. Perhaps looking to test Syndicate's abilities and find his weaknesses, Geordi began experimenting with new tactics, engaging from farther away and attempting to sneak behind him, but Syndicate proved prepared for each instance. Finally, with a bit of luck, Geordi spawned behind Syndicate, dislodging him from the hill. The positions reversed, Jordy had his chance to catch up, soon getting another kill, setting the score at 3-4. But Syndicate had an unforeseen advantage. Though he had never seen Jordy's gameplay, he knew that Jordy favored more passive strategies, and based on this knowledge, he took a gamble. Syndicate threw 2 grenades toward the trash pile. One landed wide, but the other landed directly on top of Jordy, forcing him off of the power position.
Miracle Nade almost hit Sergeant.
Oh my god.
Oh, Miracle Nade.
Too far to reliably retake the hill, Syndicate ran farther west and hunkered down behind cover, and Jordy followed. However, perhaps suspecting such, Syndicate turned and took another kill with a single burst as Jordy ran towards him, with no chance of a rebuttal. Spawning on the other side of him, Jordy attempted to catch Syndicate by surprise, but again, Syndicate was too quick, and a single burst was enough to finish him off. Now with over double Jordy's score, Syndicate was in a comfortable lead, defying the expectations of nearly everybody present. But while the other people in the voice call were laughing and enjoying themselves, Jordy's mood was souring. Having just insulted the ability of his opponent, and with his reputation as one of the most popular Call of Duty players, he felt pressured not only to win, but to do so convincingly. Now that he was losing...
he's fucking narrating this like it's the fucking Super Bowl. But hey, listen, I respect it, you know? It's a little weird, but, you know, fuck it.
Was proving more fragile than his boasts had suggested. Jordy again spawned on the trash pile, taking another kill as Syndicate attempted to reposition, but he was removed from it almost immediately after another engagement.
Good lord.
Syndicate up 8-4.
Despite his lead, Syndicate chose not to remain sedentary, instead moving about the map and searching for the next engagement in adherence to etiquette. By this point, the stream had reached approximately 7,000 viewers. Jordy respawned south of the hill and made a dash for it, but was caught by Syndicate and pinned behind a piece of cover. As Jordy stayed in place, Syndicate moved west and, again predicting Jordy correctly, flanked him and took another kill.
Is he still sitting over there, just proud?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you where he is. That wouldn't be right.
A minute passed as the two hunted each other. With pressure mounting, Jordy began to accuse Syndicate of misconduct, only seconds before the shot of the next engagement began from across the map.
Look here, let me, why don't you go and make a comment that there's not been a shot fired in almost 2 minutes because Syndicate's laying on his belly somewhere.
No, he's not.
After a relatively long fight, Wings took the kill, but he would have to win these fights much faster for a chance at victory. Suspecting that Wings had again taken cover at the hill, Syndicate threw another 2 grenades at the location, but Wings had anticipated this and moved to a different piece of cover farther east. Catching Syndicate unaware, he took yet another kill for himself and finally began to close the gap in score. Slowing down the pace of the match, he again lodged himself into the hill, taking his comfortable defensive posture, knowing that Syndicate wouldn't want to hide and wait out the timer. But in a straightforward duel, Syndicate again proved Jordy's match. It would be nearly another minute before the two saw each other again, and Jordy was losing patience, demanding that Woody tell him Syndicate's location.
Dude, he's just fucking hiding. Look, I'm looking at the fucking map right now. Where's he at?
Oh, I see him. He's not hiding.
I'm standing on the fucking open. He can't see this because he's too busy laying on his belly half the time.
We can all see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job.
With less than 2.5 minutes remaining and a 4-kill lead in Syndicate's favor, Jordy was forced to change tactics. Spotting Syndicate in the south, he threw a single grenade for a kill, but this was followed by a time-consuming duel that saw Syndicate the victor, time that Jordy could no longer afford. Jordy began chasing after Syndicate over and over, desperately trying to close the score, but for each kill that he gained, Syndicate would gain at least one more in return. After a frantic flurry of action that lasted a minute and a half, Jordy finally lost the last of his patience as he realized that he could no longer feasibly win.
Commentator shirt goes on. I knew that was a tough lobby to do well in, but I was there.
Damn, bro. That's fucked up, dude. This dude's going fucking crazy. Take the L, dude. Honestly, though, honestly.
Are you in the game?
Bro, he fucking rage quit, brother. Holy shit.
Wait, did you spawn in?
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Yeah, keep fucking laughing, you fucking faggot.
Oh, dude, he didn't censor the F slur. Come on, bro. I'm fucking on stream, dude. Shit.
Oh, don't fucking suck.
Oh my god, what a cool head. Dude, that's not cool. What a stinky boy.
Fuck you.
Damn, this guy does not, does not take the L very well, huh?
Fuck! Why the fuck you stream that shit?
It was your idea.
No, I didn't say.
I thought it was your idea.
Bro, you know what? I'm not even like, I have term for the rage. The raging is whatever, or getting upset is whatever, but like the rage is the problem, that's what I meant. Like, it's like, okay, I'm pissed, I get it, like, walk away, and then take some time to compose yourself and get back, like, bro, you won, GG, like, oh, fuck, I get angry when I lose. Like, it's whatever, man. Sometimes people just get pissed when they lose. But this shit's fucked, dude. Because I know it gets
While
so
this
much
loss
worse.
was unlikely to make a significant impact on Jordy's reputation overall, his actions soon afterwards would ensure that it would remain one of the most memorable parts of his career.
I broke my controller. Shit's fucked, bro.
The day after the duel, Syndicate made a post to Twitter. Though the structure of the tweet was a bit confusing, the message was clear. Quote, "See for yourselves. I held respect the loss for Wings yesterday, but after this, no." Attached was a screen capture of a conversation between the two of them. Apparently, Alki David, the billionaire who had hosted the Call of Duty competition the previous month, was offering $5,000 to the winner of a rematch between Jordy and Syndicate. Looking to repair his image, Jordy had approached Syndicate, offering to fix the match so he could guarantee a victory. Quote, "You get $3,000, I get $2,000, but I have to come out on top. Sound like a good deal or want no part of it?" Syndicate flatly refused, offended by the offer. Jordy grew desperate, saying, "I need this kind of money. I don't make $2,000 a day. I got a family to feed, so money is a big deal to me. You said you wanted to bury the hatchet. What better way we both make money? And I beat you by like 1 kill in Game 5. It's a $1,000 to lose a game you're not expected to win. I figured I'd offer it." To which Syndicate replied, "No way, Wing."
I like how he's like, I'm pretending to do him a favor. What a fucking asshole. Dude, that's so shitty, though. I mean, that's just so scummy. You can't be fixing these fucking games, brother. What are you doing, man? That's not good. You can't be doing that.
"You just blew it, big style," and ceased communication. Jordy soon created a video discussing his loss to Syndicate and uploaded it on August 26, 2011, titling it, "I'm Only Human," in which he discussed his conduct.
One of my pet peeves is I hate losing. I hate losing with a passion. I hate losing even more when I'm the only person that has something to lose. And it's something I've been trying to get over all my life.
I mean, bro, you fucking talked a bunch of shit. What are you talking about? You talked all this shit and you fucking lost. Like, it's not a big deal, yeah.
Even when I was a child, I've been losing.
Nah, I fuck them up.
It feels like I've failed in every form and manner, period, when I lose. I feel like I wasn't good enough to the point where it's like, maybe I shouldn't be playing.
Despite his attempts to address this, his comment section soon afterwards would be littered with references to the infamous duel, taunting him for his loss. This further fueled his discomfort, and it would manifest as videos talking about himself and his personal problems in vague terms, such as a video published less than a month after the duel titled, "My Weight and Life Problems."
A lot of people get the impression that I'm this asshole person to subscribers and everything else, and all they ever do is they single out the negative. That's kind of what anybody does. It's like
the raging on your problem. It's like the, hey, let's fix a fight. That's really going to offend a lot of people, obviously. That was his fucking problem. That was his fucking real problem.
First human nature to kind of single out the negative and everything. Nobody sees the positives that you put out there. Nobody sees how many people that you've actually helped. I mean, I can list... you go to any other commentator's videos, you won't see even a shrimp of the amount of hate that I get, which I knew going into it with my playstyle that I would get tons of hate. And since there's been so much stress with sub box breaking, the view count thing, the losing the 1v1, all the haters, all the loss of subs, I've actually gained 20 pounds because all I've been doing is worrying and eating. That to go along with the new family that I got, it gets really problematic. I mean, it's just all stress, and then there's other problems in life, like, you know, why is this like this? I try to be a nice person. Why do I constantly get hate? You know, like ignore the haters. No, it's hard to ignore the haters because your natural response to anything is to single out the negative. Oh man, why couldn't that be like High 4? You know what I'm saying? And if you ever actually wonder where that's from, that's from the Trailer Park Boys. You can check that out on Netflix if you live in the United States.
I fucking hate it because I actually like the Trailer Park Boys. They're from Canada, though, I'm pretty sure. The fuck you talking about people in the United States? Dude, I fucking hate this. How fucking similar I am to this guy. It's fucking stupid as hell. I hate this shit. Once I'm done with this stream, I'm quitting YouTube for the rest of my fucking... I'm just kidding, but it's fucking crazy. Oh my god.
Alongside his regular YouTube content, he began occasionally live streaming his play sessions in late November of 2011. However, Jordy also began to show some of his negative views of himself.
First off, most of my fan base don't like me anyway. Most people watch me to say what I'm about to say.
Despite this growth, he was losing enthusiasm for his gaming career, something he made unabashedly clear in his videos in early 2012, such as in a video titled, "Why Hide the Truth?"
You know, I do have for you today some stale-ass fucking gameplay. That's what I got for you. I got it on lockdown, too. And you know why I have stale-ass fucking gameplay? Because I hate playing the fucking game. Plain and simple. But you know why I play the fucking game? because it's the only thing that gets views. That's quite honest.
But that's one of those things where you kind of have to get to a point where you have to enjoy your content. And yeah, I get doing stuff that makes you listen. If I came on today and I just started, if I made a reaction to every fucking move Trisha Paytas made, I would be making so many more views. But I'm not gonna do that. So I know when I post this video on YouTube, it's not gonna get a ton of views, but it's fun. We'll get some views. It'll be cool. But I'm actually weirdly invested in this. So I'm actually happy to do this. It's one of those things you have to learn where you need to learn that you can't always be at your peak. You're going to have high views and low views, and you had a whole fucking podcast, but you fucked that up. Did he quit the podcast at this point? This guy just moved it so poorly. He could have been sorry, I fucked up, and it was really a shame that I tried to set up the thing. I was just feeling super subconscious, whatever. I don't know, bro.
A lot of people want to ask you, why don't you get a real job? Real jobs don't pay as well. They don't. I mean, perfectly honest. If a real job was the answer, I would have gotten a real job a year ago.
In March, another significant upheaval occurred in his life.
For those of you who know, I've been dating a girl named Celine for about a year now. And today I kind of decided for a huge life change. I actually asked her to move out of the house again. I kind of made some bad decisions in my life, and a lot of it was influenced, from her being there and trying to keep her happy. And it's got me in a really bad financial situation, and I needed time to basically get my life back together.
Bro, I feel like we need a lot more context here, because he asked her to move out again? Why again? What does that mean? Why are you guys splitting up so much? It's so fucking bizarre to me. Again, I don't know. This seems like it's a toxic relationship. What the fuck? It's one of those things. I was giving him a lot of kudos for being a dad to kids that he didn't, that they weren't his. But then the thing too is you have to be careful of getting too close to these kids, that if you aren't with somebody for too long, because that can really fuck them up in the long term. If you're oh yeah, I want to be a father figure to you, and then shit goes south, they lose another father figure. It's really fucking destructive, I feel.
By this point, it appeared that his finances were beginning to struggle as well, stating in a video on March 11th of 2012 that he had, quote, sold most of my guns over the last year or so to keep afloat. This suggests one or a combination of three potential factors: that he was making less money than he had first shared, that his income had reduced significantly, and that he had spent so much money on Shalene that he had drained much of his finances. Later, he would share that by his estimations, he had spent approximately $80,000 on her and her children to care for them and buy them things, including a new truck in which they had eventually left. Perhaps recognizing the popularity of the content that focused more on his own life, this sort of discussion would come to dominate his videos more and more, to the point that they came to resemble vlogs more so than Call of Duty commentary.
If you're going to let the opinions of others dictate your life and allow you to basically not do something, just because you're fat is going to allow you not to travel on a plane, just because you're
this happened.
You don't think your face looks as pretty as somebody else, you're not going to go to a movie. I mean, that's in the same line and ballpark of thinking that you're in by not wanting to date a girl because she's classified as a slut.
One of the topics that he would discuss frequently was his weight, as well as his desire and efforts to reduce it, which included sharing video of himself working out and recording straightforward vlogs about it.
And this is my first trip to Dr. Norman since I got back on the diet. And I went and got the prescription filled again for it. And while I was there, I was weighed, and it bothered me how much I weighed at that point, because I kind of realized where I was at. Keep in mind, March-ish of last year, 2011, I was around 368 pounds. So within 1 year, I had put on around 100 pounds.
This pressure would continue to build, and soon it would manifest in a way that would shock his viewership and further alienate him from his contemporaries and his friends.
That's fucking crazy.
In September of 2012, Jordy entered an argument on social media with another commentator going by El Presador. In a now-deleted tweet, Jordy wrote, "I've got a load of guns, El Presador, and if I decide to kill myself, I'm taking you with me." Soon, the Call of Duty commentary community was talking among themselves about Jordy's conduct, but there was at least one person that saw an opportunity. DJ Keemstar had been publishing tweets that he labeled as drama alert for some time, cataloging drama occurring online, and here he sought to both capitalize on the recent drama and diffuse it at the same time. Acting quickly, he gathered a number of these commentators for a group call that would be recorded and streamed live on September 23rd. But before El Presador or Jordy could join the call, another commentator who had inserted himself into the situation joined as well, going by White Boy 7th Street, who proceeded to lambaste Jordy for his conduct. He expressed his belief that Jordy had made these comments on Twitter to increase his view count.
Right. He did it for attention. That's what a fucking 13-year-old emo chick does. I care about wings. I like wings. I'm sure all the viewers do as well. I can relate to him. I have a person, like a personal relation.
I mean, if he wasn't kidding, then that's a serious threat on somebody's life, you know? Like, oh, if I'm gonna kill myself, I'm taking you with me. That's really fucked up.
Shit with him. I can feel him. I can understand him. And that's why I got away with so much stuff. But faking it, crying wolf, I lost it. I lost it.
Soon after, Duranker had an opportunity to give his perspective.
I respect what Wayne says, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying all he ever does is complain.
As soon as Jordy joined the call, he demanded that he be able to speak with the other three who had become involved: White Boy 7th Street, Duranker, and El Presador. Immediately upon Duranker's rejoining, Jordy began insulting him based on his employment, then began proclaiming his superior income.
Go ahead, Wings.
Why is Wings such an asshole?
I told you what it is. You're a production supervisor. You walk around with your hands in your pockets. You probably turned a wrench in 8 years, and you want to sit there and talk about gall of working hard. So you have a fucking cake job. Your job is fucking cake. What you do is you hold your hands in your pocket. You wait till the fucking safety meeting in the morning so you can suck up to some fucking big wig's dick. Then you go home and you drink your fucking Miller Lite. Well, that sounds like you're doing.
No, just I'm on my phone. I'm actually at work because I have a job. Anyway,
actually at work because you have a job. You know what? I did your fucking job for 5 years. And you know what? I make more money now than I did at that job. In one day.
Dude, this guy's such an asshole. Like, he just really is just a toxic fucking idiot, man. He's just such a dumb fuck. Jordy's an idiot, bro.
The week that I did.
That's what I'm saying. You make a lot of money. But all you do is...
But the fact is, the more money you make, the more responsibility you take on.
That's not true. Let me tell you something, brother. That's not true at all. I make more money now than I used to when I was a bus appearance maintainer. I was a manager, like a cleaning manager for buses, and like that job was a pain in the fucking ass. I worked 40 hours a week. And I make more money now, and my responsibility is to wake up whenever I want and stream whenever I want, and then, like, I don't even edit my videos, dude. I just fucking throw up the live stream on YouTube, and I'm so appreciative for it, because I don't deserve any of it, and I love the people who watch me, and I appreciate that they appreciate me, but, dude, this is not hard. This is a fucking dream job, and I'm so thankful for it. Every fucking day, I don't wake up a single day and go, like, I deserve this. Like, I don't fucking deserve any of this. Nobody who's a content creator deserves it. Let me just tell you, dude, it's fucking shut the... More money does not equal more responsibility, bro. Let me just tell you.
You're also failing to neglect. You're talking about people taking $120 out of their check to feed their family. Look here, son.
Thanks for checking out the stream.
Not two,
by the way, I appreciate it.
not 3 children, 9.
Paradoxically, he then began explaining his aversion to manual labor.
No. You're making it seem like I've never worked a real job before. The reason that I have worked a real job is the reason I don't want to work a real job again. It doesn't matter if it's labor or backbreaking work. You know, if I see a person digging a ditch, you know what I don't think? That's a hard worker. I think that's somebody that fucked up in
That's
his life.
coming along noisily.
Right.
Oh,
Soon,
dude.
Woody offered insight into Jordy's mentality and even claimed that Jordy
You can't say that shit, bro. Those, like, fucking, like, I've done, I used to, like, I've worked in deli, I've done a little fast food work. I used to do this thing called resets for supermarkets. I used to do that. And like I was a bus washer, I'm just gonna call it. And a lot of those things I did like 2 jobs at a time. And like I've never done like back-breaking labor like that though. Like I hate even mowing my fucking lawn. Well, I guess the resetting was a little bit difficult, but you get my point. My point is like, how are you gonna talk down on people that do shit like that? Like, what a fucking dickhead.
Was lying.
Wings, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
All right, so when I was watching the Twitter feed unfold, like this is how it played in my own head. I saw, you upset, and I know you, right? You're a guy who thinks a little bit short term. When cash comes in the bank, you feel wealthy. When the bills roll in, you feel broke. When the views are high, you feel, if you have a good day view-wise, you feel like things are awesome. If you have a single bad day view-wise, you worry that the world is crashing. So I watched you on YouTube, and I thought, you know what? He's not joking for putting on a suicide hoax. He's just a guy who has extreme feelings and expresses, like, there's no sort of long-term, moderation filter on there. If I get 700,000 views today and 30,000 views tomorrow, I feel like I got 730,000 views over 2 days. You feel like, oh my gosh, my channel crashed today. The world is ending. And so when I watched your Twitter thing and saw White Boy respond to it, I felt like White Boy was off target because he's like, oh my gosh, this guy faked a hoax. I saw it. I felt like you claimed it was a hoax as a way to change the topic and end the beef.
Wings, it's been kind of been you versus the world tonight.
No, it's always me versus the world, dude. It's been like that for the last 3 years of my career. I'm pretty much, Scarface of the YouTube community. I'm the bad guy. I'm the camper. I'm everything that personifies everything bad.
You're the Scarface of the YouTube community.
After a bit more arguing, Jordy began to threaten and insult White Boy, while Woody unsuccessfully attempted to defuse the situation.
You're real close to me just telling you what you actually make.
That's not anybody's business. what people make though.
I know what he makes. His contract is much different from mine.
But Wings, he's not talking about money though.
He is. He's calling me a view whore when he said himself I'd get like 1,000 views. But you're a fucking dumbass, dude. I don't do that shit for views. If I did that shit for views, I would do it on my fucking YouTube channel. Why don't you take your one-eyed ass and learn fucking something? Quit smoking pot. Quit being a fucking high school dropout.
So I think instead of going after the messenger, we should talk about the messenger.
I'm a fucking person too, and you're sitting there trying to destroy my livelihood by some fucking bullshit trying to say I did some view whore and shit.
Suicide. Do you not understand the gravity of the situation? You faked the suicide for views. You're fucking raw instinct.
After Jordy returned, the live stream took on a drastically different tone, discussing Jordy and his negative mental health.
It's not a fucking fake suicide. That's what you don't fucking understand. I'm a suicidal fucking person. I don't like my fucking life.
Wings, why do you... okay, listen, Wings. Sometimes we, as human beings, we just have to look down when things are tough and look at what we have. I know I'm sounding like a Hallmark card.
What do I fucking have, GameStar? I have a fucking night full of drama. I have fucking El Presto trying to get big off me by threatening to put the FBI in me. I have one of the biggest channels in gaming on YouTube trying to shut me down while I'm having one of the worst months of my fucking life. What do I have?
Wings, think about what you just said. You said that you have El Presto trying to get big off of you. Now, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that?
El Presto is a fucking leech.
No, but what I'm saying is, if El Presto is really just trying to get big off you, that is an awesome thing. That's a compliment.
It's not an awesome thing. It hits you all at once, dude. Have you ever... Well, you probably have.
You gotta look at it glass half full, glass half empty. You have so much, and people in this community, look up to you. All right? They do. People in the community actually look up to Wings. Wings has been around from forever, and as much as people battle with you, people do respect you. And admire you. Look at how many people tune into PKA. No offense to Woody, but if you were out of it, it'd be probably like half the people there.
Maybe.
What do you think is the biggest thing, Wings, that's missing out of your life right now? What is the root thing that's making you this depressed, I guess? I mean, is there something really missing? Because people look at you from the outside and say, that guy's got a lot.
I don't know. I honestly can't answer that question.
Are you missing the girlfriend? I mean, I know money became a situation, but are you missing that companionship?
No, dude. I've had other girlfriends, essentially. I mean,
just crying, but oh, fuck.
I can't honestly answer that. I mean, I just don't feel fulfilled. I feel like I'm going nowhere.
About an hour into the live stream, however, the tone shifted dramatically again as El Presador joined by calling Keemstar on the telephone. Though it was often difficult to understand him, it was clear that El Presador was still intent on calling the FBI.
Yeah, but you're too lazy, and I also know that.
In the midst of this, however, Jordy made a remarkably prophetic statement.
Because El Presto is one of the main instigators of my frustration. Like, generally, when I'm feeling bad, he's the person there to try to kick you when you're down.
Why don't you get that he's just a troll, and he says he's trolling you while he's doing it, and you still bite into it? You're feeding him, Wings. You're feeding the troll.
I understand that.
Well, why don't you just stop?
Because
Thanks for checking out the stream today. I really appreciate it.
It's not built into me to stop. It's not.
In the end, however, the drama was resolved.
So, Wings, El Presador, this is a breakthrough moment. El Presador said, let's sweep it under the rug. What do you think, Wings?
That seems like a good idea to me. It seems like a lot of headaches avoided.
Bam. There you go. Bad kid show.
Even so, this moment deteriorated the relationships that he had with other content creators even further, as he was already known as a volatile personality. The rest of the stream was dedicated to discussing Jordy's mental state, where he reiterated his desire to stop working as an internet personality.
Okay, I hear like a sound of depression. Can we say that?
I'm not really depressed, though. I mean, as soon as I leave this room, I'm happy. As soon as I forget all of this, I'm happy. That's why I said beforehand when I was a little more upset that I know what I need to do. What I need to do is quit YouTube and move on with my life. But at the same time, this is the high point so far in my life. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be the only high point in my life. It's hard to walk away from having access to 50,000 people. It's hard to walk away from, basically being able to get advice at any time of the day, any day of the week. It's hard to walk away from, being somebody of importance to going back into a world where you're nobody.
Even after alienating so many other creators, his relationship with his friends on the Painkiller Already podcast remained consistent, but this would not last.
Jesus.
What a lot of people don't know is I kind of grew up without a father figure. I mean, for the most part, there were good guy figures in my life.
I mean, I don't doubt about it, this guy fucking jumped at the opportunity to be a father to kids that like he doesn't even really know. Which it is a nice thing, but then it's also like a short term kind of a thing. It's one of those really unfortunate aspects. Is a lot of people who were raised fatherless like tend to, you know, go back towards that unhealthy, we'll say. They'll tend to repeat the pattern. Unfortunately, it's one of the fucking terrible things.
Throughout my life, my mother was an attractive woman during her 20s and 30s and even 40s.
Over the next year, Jordy quietly continued to produce videos. The longer he continued, however, the fewer views he was receiving on his channel, but this didn't stop him from sharing a woman he had begun dating sometime in August of 2012, named Brandy, whom he had met on a dating website, just as he had Shalene. Compared to Shalene, however, she would feature much less prominently in his content. He also became much more susceptible to radical mood swings. In early 2013, Machinima released him from his contract, and he created a video discussing this, titled Rock Bottom.
I made a few decisions in my life that really crippled me when they dropped me. Because I had like a 3-year contract with Machinima, signed one. And under the premise of me signing a 3-year contract, I bought things and made obligations that I normally otherwise would not have. So basically my channel's not doing very well. I've been going into the red for February, March, April, May, June. Jesus. 5 months now. And when I got that week off, it kind of like kick-started a lazy bug in me. And when you start getting lazy, you start laying down, you start sleeping more, you start getting depressed, you start realizing how fat you are, and then being fat depresses you, and that makes you want to eat. When you eat, you feel depressed. It's just a constant cycle of being a failure. That on top of just the negative comments. People are always like, why do you point and just zero in those negative comments? And like, I just can't help it. I can't. I used to have the skin of an elephant. Back in Modern Warfare 2, maybe Black Ops 1, I could care fuck less what you said about me.
Soon after, however, he joined another company, Full Screen Arcade, but he was making significantly less money from this contract. Around this same time, perhaps attempting to increase viewer retention and income, he began speaking more to YouTube drama, often eschewing the gameplay component of Call of Duty commentary so he could simply talk to the camera in a more normal vlog format. Throughout 2013, his channel would continue in much the same way that it had, trending towards sharing information about his life and speaking his mind on any number of topics, from YouTube drama to national news headlines to his thoughts on the existence of aliens. He would even have a friend record doctors draining a boil after he became infected with MRSA, a sort of drug-resistant staph infection, then upload it to his channel, including a close-up of the bacteria and pus oozing from his skin. Similarly, on Painkiller Already 149, he discussed a rather graphic and personal scene.
One of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life. I mean, the only other feeling that I could even contemplate with that would be the time I was constipated and the turd went sideways on me.
That doesn't even make sense.
Let me tell the story. I had a really bad bout of constipation. And this was when I was on my diet in early 2011. I started doing Slim Fast to replace my lunches. One thing I didn't learn about Slim Fast is it dehydrates you really, really badly. Like, you have to drink a lot of water when you're on Slim Fast when you're replacing against meals. And I didn't do that. So I got dehydrated really bad. I'm talking about 3 or 4 turds deep. Like, it just hurt the wall. So I figured it took me for about a week. So what I did is I ended up going to get a saline enema. And I had my grandma give me a saline enema. And it softened it up enough in half, but it only got a little bit. So, like, it softened like the first 3/4 of the turd. I get on the toilet, and a saline enema like stimulates the muscles to actually make it come out. So I do it, it goes, and then that little piece, probably about this big, hits it, and turns like that, just spreads my butthole wide open. I fall off the toilet, and I hit my head onto the wall, and I call up to my grandma. I'm like, you might have to take her to the hospital. What we ended up doing is she ended up sticking her finger up my butt and mashing the turd up.
Now, I know how to ask a question.
But midway through that year, this pattern would see a remarkable short-term change. While recording the Painkiller Already podcast, FPS Kyle proposed a way to help Jordy finally lose weight.
One episode, I threw this at Wings because, he was bemoaning his
detailed documentary.
Sure, and I said, look, man, come to my house. We'll do a fucking month-long boot camp. We'll get the fans behind it. We'll do a Kickstarter to get you like fitness gear, supplies. We'll film the entire thing. We'll make posters. We'll make coffee mugs. We'll get like a big viewership. Not only will this revive your body, it'll revive your YouTube channel. This will be amazing. Come to my house. I'll take a month out of my schedule. I will devote it to you. We'll do this thing together. It'll be fun. I sort of half-heartedly meant it. I didn't really expect him to ever say yes, because of all the things that we told you so far. He doesn't get out of his bubble too much. And then the man said yes.
What's more, these videos would be hosted on Jordy's channel, where he could collect the advertising revenue. With the plan in place, Kyle prepared for Jordy to move in.
And so that night I was taking a shower in my shower after the show, and I was washing my hair, and I bumped my elbow on the shower wall, and I was like, God, the shower is a little narrow. And then it occurred to me, Wings of Redemption could not fit into my shower. And if he was going to live with me, we would have to put in a new shower. So construction began the next day on a $5,000 shower.
Oh my God.
Jordy arrived at Kyle's house on October 13th,
Man, you really invested a lot for this.
In the video updating people on his arrival, he was visibly nervous, bouncing his leg and fidgeting as he spoke. This wasn't surprising. He was a self-admitted homebody, preferring to stay in his mother's mobile home with his grandmother.
It's a really big change in life, and it's a change that kind of makes you feel better about yourself.
On October 31st, the first video was uploaded, with a series titled FPS Boot Camp in all capital letters. The beginning showed Jordy squirming across the floor and pulling himself with a rope.
He is allowed to use his legs. As long as it's moving weight, it's a good thing. Pull.
What became immediately clear, however, was that FPS Kyle had no experience as a personal
Thanks
trainer.
for checking out the stream, by the way. Means a lot to me.
These aren't even routines. I don't know what to say. Like, what is this guy's experience? He doesn't fucking clue what he's doing. Like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck? He's just having the guy, like, run around. Like, that's not good. You're better off just taking a fucking walk every day. That's gonna be more impactful than this. So, Jesus.
The first day, Jordy filmed himself in the new bathtub that Kyle had installed for him, and somberly reminisced about when he was stronger and lighter.
I was kind of disappointed in myself how I wasn't as strong as I remember myself being. But I guess that's the way most things happen. You always feel like you were better at a certain point. Like I found myself remembering, thinking back to when I used to be like 330 pounds, and back then I thought I was really, really heavy, and like now I'm killing me 330. Like, good Lord, that's 110 pounds, you know, and that's exactly what it is at this point. It's 110 pounds, and there's really nothing you can.
Is that shitting? Oh, he's not.
Really nothing that you can do
Why
about it.
am I looking at?
It's really cool. Like, I feel really good that Kyle's helping me out here. I mean, he's being a really good friend doing this, and like.
Despite his struggle, the new video performed well, receiving 50,000 views within the first 12 hours.
Damn.
The next day, he discussed more of his hardship with the routine. Apparently, he had also broken the bed that Kyle had let him use.
Microphone. I forgot my headset. The bed I ended up breaking on the first night. They had like a futon bed here, and I felt real bad about that. So,
Even so, his attitude was positive, buoyed by the high view count of the first episode of FPS Boot Camp. In order to help fund Jordy's stay with Kyle, a crowdfunding campaign was created on either November 1st or 2nd, asking for $2,500. According to the comments, this goal was doubled within 24 hours, and by the time the campaign ended, it had raised over $8,000. These videos continued, and ironically, the large amount of support Jordy was receiving was creating significant pressure on him to perform.
It's beyond belief how much support I've been getting through these videos, and like it motivates me. Like when I'm on there, in this video right here, you see me make almost 3 minutes on the elliptical. The entire time I was on the elliptical, I thought.
I know people are gonna be like, "Damn, only 3 minutes. Fuck, I hate the elliptical, bro. I don't even know if I can last 3 minutes. I'm 350 pounds, brother. Like, fuck, that shit's fucking insane." Just got like an elite always
about all the people sitting there rooting for me and how I can't fail. And like failing at this point would be letting everybody down, including myself.
True.
And I don't want to fail. And like I think this year might be the year where I can keep that promise to myself, where I don't want to be overweight on my birthday. I failed last year, but this year might be it. Being overweight.
So I sleep on it. I have a fucking futon right behind me. I sleep on that thing sometimes. I enjoy it. I'm actually somebody said like you shouldn't be legit sleeping on that, especially if you're overweight. Like probably not, but I'm super comfortable and shit like that. For me personally, because I used to camp a lot as a kid, so I kind of just fucking I don't really care about being comfortable, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I kind of like being on like very stiff, uncomfortable spots. Like I had a bed back way long ago, like an old shitty bed, and you know how the springs collapse? The springs collapsed, and I was sleeping in it, and I was like laying in a ditch. It was fucking horrible.
Might be a stage of my life.
It was so bad that when I got a good mattress, my back hurt really bad because it was actually a nice mattress. You know what I mean? Like my body needed to adjust to it. It was fucking insane.
and not my entire life.
The FPS bootcamp videos continued, with significant progress being made. Jordy's mood improved more and more as he continued, bolstered by his significant weight loss.
I'm shedding something like 2.5 to 4 pounds a day, depending on what I do that day, what I eat, and like, it's almost inhuman the way my body's burning fat.
What wasn't shown in these videos were Jordy's significant interpersonal and health problems, the latter likely brought on in part by Kyle's lack of knowledge as a nutritionist.
True. Living with him outside of the workout was one of the most horrible ordeals of my life. That month was one of the worst months of my life because Wings lives within his own bubble. He doesn't socialize, and so he doesn't curtail himself to social norms. Right away, myself, my roommate Kitty, and my girlfriend were in my kitchen, and the bathroom is visible from the kitchen. And we hear this noise of water flowing into more water. And we all look up ponderously, and the bathroom door is agape, and Wings is pissing. And we can see most of him. I couldn't see the penis, nor could he. But he was pissing. And we all did, and we were all just in shock. And finally my roommate Kitty yelled, "Close the goddamn door! You're pissing with the door open!" She's British, if you can't tell. And we all just bust out laughing. Like, can you believe that? He's like, what? What's the big deal? You know, just taking a piss and they're like, oh, shitting. Strong point. Shitting. When I put him on the FPS Kyle diet, which is a lot of salads and grilled chicken, basically, he didn't shit for a week. He didn't shit for so long, I called the only person who I truly know is a bit of a fitness expert, Joe Lozon, who's a UFC fighter, a man who is literally a fitness expert. He's a professional fighter, professional athlete, big name in the UFC. I'm like, he hasn't shat in 4 days, stupid. He's like, what? Oh, he hasn't shat in 4 days. What do we do? He's like,
fucking two-shot that thing.
3 or 4 more days go by, you know, it's gonna be a problem. It's already a problem, I think. I'm just picturing the meals that he's taken in. That's still inside him somewhere. Like he's more stuff.
Well, I mean, maybe he's just not eating a lot compared. I don't really know. I wonder what happened. Maybe he's just not eating a lot compared to what he usually eats, so it wasn't like a big deal for him. I don't fucking know, dude. That's so crazy, though.
Down the musket barrel. Yeah, it's like he's overloaded. You know, I've seen what happens when you put the wrong ammunition into a gun. What, are we going to blow this man's asshole out? That was occurring to me as I pondered over his constipation. And so we're getting him these chia seed drinks from the grocery store, which are supposed to aid in passing, you know, making regular, making you poop. We're filling his diet with fiber. I believe there was like shredded wheat and chia seed drinks and all of this stuff. And finally, like 7 or 8 days in, I mean, I had to replace the toilet. Not because anything was wrong with it, but just that principle. After he left,
knew what happened, didn't
I knew what happened. It was like
2 weeks into the program, Jordy was beginning to feel discouraged after his weight had plateaued, and he approached Kyle wanting to return home. Kyle was only barely able to convince him to stay for the last 2 weeks. When Jordy arrived back at his mother's mobile home, he seemed ecstatic about the amount of weight he had lost. This inspired him to make a video of himself dropping weights roughly equivalent to the lost weight in order to show what he called the, quote, destructive power that I have taken off my body. Shortly afterwards, he hired a personal trainer named Drew using the extra money left over from the crowdfunding campaign, and he seemed relatively good-natured about it, laughing alongside Drew and poking fun at himself.
You put up some decent weight, considering we just got started, you haven't done this in a while. But the endurance there, he doesn't want to embarrass me. I did 12 reps of 100, and then I went straight to 15 pounds, and I struggled.
However, he also mentioned that he had started struggling with his diet and had gone back to eating high-calorie foods.
And a lot of it's my appetite slowly been coming back. When I was at Kyle's house, I was isolated. I had people pretty much feeding me. But now, since I took over the diet, I've been slipping more and more and more. How are we going to fix this, Drew?
While it's uncertain when these bad habits resumed, this may have been in part because his girlfriend, Brandy, had broken up with him. But while he had taken action to improve his physical health, the health of his friendships had degraded significantly, and this would culminate in an event that would isolate him more than his reclusive lifestyle already had. In March of 2014, during the Painkiller Already podcast, Jordy, Woody, Kyle, and the newer fourth member, Lefty, discussed and considered going on what they called a survival trip, during which they would go out into the wilderness without food, water, or shelter, bringing only some survival implements such as flint and steel, a water purifier, and sleeping bags. Of the four, Woody, Kyle, and Jordy committed to going.
Me, myself, I've always wanted to try these skills out. It's not because I don't really have any of these skills. I have what you call book knowledge. Like, I know how to start a fire. I know how to, differentiate north from other directions. I've watched so many survival shows.
Their preparation was minimal, and Jordy uploaded videos of himself attempting to light a fire using a magnesium starter.
Man.
They scheduled to leave approximately a month after they had seriously considered the idea in mid-April of 2014. However, Jordy's survival kit was scant, gathering only 2 knives, a walking stick, gloves, boots, and 2 fire starters. By the time he was supposed to leave, he had only expanded this kit with a can of bug repellent and a 3rd fire starter. The compass, he thought, was broken. Some viewers noticed in his preparation day video there was a bottle of soda in the car, suggesting that he had again been failing in his diet. At last, the day had come for them to go on their survival trip, but immediately, Jordy's compatriots began to sense a problem.
I'm driving in the night before, and I think to myself, hey, let me give old Wings a call, make sure we're all good to go here, because it's Wings. Call him up, say, hey man, you ready to do this thing? I'm driving in now, about 3 hours from the place. What are you up to? You could leave, if you left right now, you'd be here around 11, and you could share this motel room with me. I could get a room with 2 beds or something. He's like, I'm not coming. What do you mean? I'm not coming. When were you going to tell me? I'm telling you right now.
That's fucked up, dude.
What the? So I call. I text Woody. I'm like, he's not fucking going. He's not fucking going. And so Woody gets on the phone with him. Woody tries to talk, and I'm thinking like Woody's going to talk him into this. I'm still driving with this idea. Woody will talk him into this. Woody's a great motivational speaker when he needs to be, and I'm sure Woody was
selling compilations of me telling Wings like, if you want to be an extraordinary person, you have to do extraordinary things.
Be a winner, not a loser. Be a doer, not a don'ter.
Very Rollins-esque, yeah.
Yeah, this sort of talk, and he just doesn't fucking come. He just doesn't fucking come. And it's now it's just me and Woody in the woods.
This shit's so fucked up, man. This is where I'm guessing this is where he ends up like inevitably burning the bridge of like even with his friends because this shit's fucked up, dude. Jesus, man, this guy really fucked himself. Like he fucked himself. He fucked him. He fucked himself with his fans, and you think he'd learn a lesson. This guy is just like something else, man. I don't know. Maybe it's depression, but I'm assuming he hit rock bottom. I feel like now that he hit rock bottom, maybe he can ascend. Someone said, hey, I just got here after watching the Patus train wreck, and then I got a mess. I appreciate your insight and for having my views. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's kind of weird.
It got gay.
It's like, I don't know.
On April 14th, he uploaded a video attempting to defend his decision, though his confidence in his defense was weak enough for him to disable likes and dislikes.
Obviously, I didn't show up I didn't go to the PK survival trip today. And I've seen people tell me, like, oh, why don't you go now? Go now. Do it. Dude, that's not an option. And the reason I didn't tell them ahead of time is mainly because I didn't want to basically start the trend up before and have them try to talk me out of it. Because I'd already made my mind up. I wasn't going to go. I didn't want to deal with it. You think I want to be this person? You think I wanted to make a decision where, it could be the end of my channel or the end of friendships?
Yes, that's what it is, yeah. So, you did it. It's not like a fucking like a tough thing. You did that thing, man. You did a shitty thing. You could have went. I mean, it's one of those things where I get it. Like you didn't want to go. Maybe you were feeling self-conscious in some capacity. I don't know. But you still did that thing. So you can't really just be like, oh, do you think I want to be this person? Like, yeah, obviously, because you did the thing. You became the person. You did the wrong thing. So yeah, kinda. I mean, come on, man.
Think I want to be like on the outs with Kyle and Woody? No, I don't. But the fact is, I got to the point emotionally where I was willing to risk my channel never rebounding. I was willing to risk my friendship with Kyle and Woody because I was afraid of this trip. And that right there's just.
I feel like he actually doesn't believe that. I feel like he thinks. There's no way he truly believes that. I mean, it might have actually hurt his career, probably did. But there's no way he actually thinks that. And the reason I say that is because I think it's him just saying it to sound like he's like, I know it was a bad thing, but I have such bad, like, basically the implication is mental health problems. That I still did this thing anyway. Like, that's how much it meant to me. And I feel like he didn't think it was going to have a profoundly negative impact on his channel, but I think it actually ended up having a pretty negative impact on his friendships at least. So,
volumes. Where I was at mentally.
The comments were almost universally derisive, criticizing him for his cowardice and for his numerous excuses. The next Painkiller Already podcast was filmed shortly after Woody and Kyle returned, and Jordy was conspicuously absent. In place of his avatar was a small tombstone, and for the most part, they avoided talking about him.
Yes, I suppose we should talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, so we've decided, it was a group decision, we decided that Wings of Redemption wasn't going to continue with us. He's having a hard time, and he's made some decisions that we didn't feel were so friendly, so for the time being.
While the comments showed a strong dissatisfaction with the decision, the hosts were not swayed, and it became clear that they had no intention of inviting Jordy back for the foreseeable future. While Woody had refrained from speaking on the matter, Jordy's attitude on Twitter pushed him to discuss it in a video he released on May 30th, a month and a half after the trip, in which he seemed visibly hurt by what Jordy had said about him and Kyle.
The core of it is he says, like, these guys were, the PK crew were never friends to him, that we never called him. We didn't share the money with him and things like that. And that frustrates me because it's a lie. And that's kind of why he's gone. Because it was this constant backstabbing, this constant taking shots at him. Every time he fell into some sort of slump or got grumpy or whatever, he would lash out at all the people that were close to him. The truth is, like, if you follow Wings on Twitter, you know that sometimes he'll just go off about all his personal problems and put that on Twitter. And I would be the guy that texted him or called him and tried to sort of work it out. I was the guy that held his Twitter account to sort of back off on that a little bit. When obviously Jesus he said that he was going to rape my daughter, rape my wife after he kicked my ass, and he called Colin retarded 100 times. And Wings donated money to that guy because he thought it would make him look good.
What the fuck? Wait, Jesus, so dude, that just took a fucking turn. So some guy said that he was going to do these horrible things, and Wings gave him money because he thought it would make him look good? Wait, what? The fuck? That's a person you never fucking associate with ever again. Like, people who betray your fucking friendships? I don't understand. What the fuck?
Wings gave search engine optimization tips when people were attacking Colin. The list is long, man. Oh, remember Wings went on Keemstar's podcast and said that we never gave him any of the money from the show. Why would he say that? I've taken so much undeserved shit for stuff like that. And now if you follow him, he says he just lost a third of his income. Right. To say that we were never his friends is not fair. We would do so much for him. We tried to help him so often. I want the best for Wings. I really do. But I can't have him in my life anymore because he's been so terrible to me and my family. And has done nothing to ever make up for it. I mean, people make mistakes, but this is a guy who talks without thinking and has a policy of never apologizing. And when you combine that, you get a guy that just takes and never gives. And, either you get some help so that you can deal with this and compartmentalize the hate and push it to the side, or you reorganize your life so that you don't get this kind of hate anymore. Because what you have now, it's not working for you, man. You're spiraling down, and you need to be on your way up. That's where it is. But for my participation, I mean, I feel like I'm the lifeguard and you've been trying to pull me under for 5 years, and after a while, the debt's paid.
I feel like. So, let's give this Jordy the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that he's just a fucking asshole who learned young that you can be manipulative and get whatever you want. Because it kind of sounds true. Like, you can just kind of fucking, talk about mental health as a weapon to get shit you want. Let's say he just doesn't realize the behavior. I feel like after hearing that from somebody you would consider a friend, saying that, I really want the best for you, but I feel like you've been ruining my life, so I have to disconnect myself from you because it would be better for my family. I feel like you have to, that has to be a fucking wake-up call, right? Like, that has to hit you hard as fuck and make you go like, damn, where did I go wrong? That's some fucked up shit. I'm going to assume that didn't happen. But, yeah.
As Jordy continued to upload videos, his viewership dwindled further. Attempting to buoy his view count, he utilized clickbait titles for his videos and would comment on national news and drama, even talking about an incident when Chris Chan pepper sprayed a GameStop employee. He would also upload videos of himself playing games besides competitive first-person shooters, but these would consistently underperform, with some of them never reaching more than 10,000 views.
Hey, fuck it, dude. You're on a grind, man. Obviously, some people... That's one of the things, is, I hate that narrative of, they would underperform. And it's I don't like that because one of the biggest issues I think we have in society, just fundamentally, is people don't want to take risks anymore. Look at movies. You ever see an original movie come out lately? Nah, you haven't, because nobody wants to take a fucking risk. So everything's dog shit. And so you might make something that has less views. Okay, but maybe that might just be that people aren't going to like it on your channel. Obviously, if they're expecting a particular thing, but you might generate a new audience, or maybe you'll be able to generate people coming to that. But if you like the content better, who cares if it gets less views? He was already saying he hated the fucking content he was making, so who gives a shit? Just do the content if you're enjoying it, especially. And yeah, I don't understand. I just don't like the mentality. I don't like people who say stuff like that talk about the views were dwindling in a negative light. I know it's really. I'm not like criticizing this content creator. I'm not trying to like shit on him or anything, because he's been really good so far. He's been super informative, and I really appreciate it. But I hate that mentality. Is usually like an if it was me, I'd give up type of a space, and it's so toxic. It's a really bad idea to not do things because they will be perceived as work. Like if you got 9,000 views on a video and you enjoyed making it, like who gives a fuck? Honestly, especially if you're going to transition your content away from something. 9,000 people watched it, so it's not that bad. And you can generate a long-term audience from stuff like that, especially if you're happier. So I just want.
He struggled maintaining his workout routine and diet, halting and then restarting both multiple times. His personal trainer, Drew, would occasionally cameo to talk about Jordy's progress, his goals, and the workouts he was doing, but Jordy's attitude had turned dour.
This week, Brandy, I don't know if you guys remember Brandy, but Brandy was my last girlfriend. She basically went through a relationship with another guy, and it's like, man, that shit.
Didn't he say that he had girlfriends since then? Liar. Am I right?
Sucks. As you can see my luck firsthand, like, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Jordan family motto.
By this point, Keemstar had turned drama alert from an occasional Twitter post to a full show, and on October 2nd, 2014, a post that Jordy made was featured.
I played with the idea of waiting my money out and shooting myself in the head. I even bought a hollow point bullets to do it with.
As Jordy continued to struggle, he would occasionally post to his social media about thoughts of suicide, such as in a Facebook post on October 13th, 2014, that read in part, quote, "I don't joke around about stuff like that. I don't want to kill myself, and you don't kill yourself for attention, you do it to escape pain. Like..."
No, you don't kill yourself for attention, but you do announce it the way he announces it so much for attention. And, sometimes you can consider that a cry for help, right? Like, that's a lot of times people who are suicidal will try to give a cry of help. They want to see who cares and see who will stop them, and that's like that could be a defining moment of whether they go through it or not, for sure, But it is generally for some kind of attention when you do stuff like that, or else you would have just done it. And by the way, like if you're somebody who's struggling, don't do it. That's not the message I'm trying to give out here. I'm just saying that, like, Jordy seems to be using it as a weapon. He's using like people's considerations as like a fucking weapon, man. That just seems to be the truth. No joke.
Was and still is a huge disappointment full of pain. Attached to the post was a picture of a package of bullets. Hoping to rebuild his career, he started a new podcast in February of 2015 titled The Podcast Show, which surprisingly featured White Boy 7th Street, one of those who had joined for Keemstar's stream a few years prior. However, as the months continued, this show would lose viewership as well, dipping from 40,000 views to 13,000 by August. This reflected an overall trend on his channel. That same month also saw his Let's Plays sometimes netting less than 3,000 views. All of this was in spite of his subscriber count of approximately 450,000, which had decayed from 510,000. Even his videos which featured FPS gameplay would struggle to pass 15,000 views, while others would never reach it. By this point, it was clear that Jordy would not be rejoining the regular Painkiller Already hosts, though he would still be invited occasionally for uneventful discussion. As he lost motivation, he would both upload and stream less, continuing into 2016.
Because around January 2013, I stopped trying as hard. I was worn out.
But this is one of those things. Like, I get it. I've been like burnt out too, and sometimes I'll just stream less, and it's whatever, and I'll wait for my moment. Because sometimes you're in a little bit of a content down, which is fine. I've just learned to deal with it. Like, it's good to be in a content lull, just chill out a little bit. But I feel like this is just the feeling I get from watching this guy. I feel like he's not being entirely honest when he says that he burnt out on something. Sometimes I just feel like he says that. As a way to like be like, yeah, well, I wasn't really trying. You know what I mean? Like, do you know those fucking people who just like, I wasn't really trying, bro? That's what I get. That's the vibe I get from this guy. So I don't know. Fuck, I'm gonna get my fucking tits turned up. But that's just the vibe that I get from him. So.
I was posting 3 videos a day. I was doing the most I could, and my entire life revolved around numbers. What killed my channel was me. I pretty much killed my channel because I allowed myself to become so obsessed with money that I never took time out to enjoy myself. And it molded me into a person that I didn't like.
Attempting to explain himself, he released a video on August 26, 2016 called I'm Going to the Doctor.
So, you might be asking me like, well, Jordy, what are you up to lately? You don't really do YouTube that often. You stream rarely. The last couple of years I've developed this thing called anxiety. And I never used to have it.
but now it hits me in waves.
As 2017 came, his uploads continued to dwindle along with his viewership, and this coincided with an increase in his weight again. Where he had once been approximately 380 pounds, he now was approximately 470 pounds, and he was beginning to complain about his back pain more. He had been discussing bariatric surgery as a method to reduce his weight for many years, but as his weight continued to increase, this surgery grew more and more appealing, and he soon began to see it as the only way to improve his life, believing that he could not have any job besides making gaming content at his current weight. What's more, another aspect of his financial situation was slowly coming to be known. For some time, Jordy had been paying for his mother's mortgage on the modular home. She had promised Jordy that once he was finished paying it for her, she would give it to him. He had even boasted that he had made the last payment on the mortgage in a video on October 23rd, 2014. But at some point, once the mortgage was paid off, she went back on her word, and instead of giving the house over to Jordy, she took out a second mortgage and promised Jordy that this time, once he had paid off the new mortgage, he would receive the house, and so he continued to pay. Despite these payments, his credit rating was still incredibly low because instead of paying them directly, he was transferring money into his mother's bank account every month. Recognizing that his YouTube channel was likely not worth pursuing much longer, he changed his focus to Twitch, choosing to rely on live streams more than videos. According to himself, in 2016, he would average anywhere between 250 to 400 viewers at a time. However, he quickly gained a reputation for being aggressive and volatile, both towards those with whom he was playing and his own viewers, banning people for minor infractions or saying things he disagreed with. One person from Reddit noted in 2017 that, quote, "When I left YouTube, he said he was going to lose weight, but he is fatter than ever. Not only that, but he is meaner than ever. He talks to his viewers like shit. One guy genuinely offered to teach him how to properly play Rainbow Six, which Wings was struggling at, and Wings told him, 'If you keep backseat gaming, I'm gonna fucking block you.' Then he told a 36-month subscriber that he hopes their parents die in a car wreck because the kid beat him in a 1v1. Keep in mind, this is a 30-year-old man."
Whatever, I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
What the fuck?
On top of this, he seems very depressed now. He spends every stream just constantly bitching about how he doesn't get enough viewers to support his fat, lazy, degenerate lifestyle. It makes me feel unwanted as a fan. He also complains and gets very angry literally every time he dies. I've never heard Wings admit he got outplayed. It's always outside forces that cause him to die in game, whether it be lag, OP weapons, bad teammates, etc. It's literally never his fault. I even saw him throw a controller at his TV out of anger. Also, his shirt was dirty. It looked like he hadn't showered in 3 days and he was greasy. I really hope he can find it within himself to get his life together. He also said that he had a gun in his hand, was considering killing himself because he wasn't getting the Twitch viewers he feels he deserves, and if he can't make a living off of video games, then he doesn't want to live. He legit said that shit. But soon, due to a quirk of YouTube's algorithm, he would again attract attention and viewership of an entirely different kind.
Oh, damn, bro. This is fucking...
Joke's on them. If they join one more time, I'm going back online, and I'm stacking a team up.
Yeah, man, I've said it's worse, honestly. Well, not about killing myself, because that's really manipulative. But, like, you know, toxic shit back then. But you'll do it to each other back then, bro. It's different. Like, you got trolled and alive. It's totally different. Also, it was a fucking different time, I guess. 5 years ago. I don't know, man. You're 30 years old. I didn't do this shit when I was 30. So fucked up. Just fucked, man.
On November 16th, 2017, a YouTube user going by Sean Ranklin posted a video titled...
You usually just say it out loud to yourself, you know? You don't fucking say it to people. You know what I mean? It's fucked up, though. This guy's an asshole. Huge fucking asshole.
Wings of Redemption gets stream sniped and loses it. Up to this point, people had learned that they could annoy Jordy by joining his games and harassing him, much to the amusement of many of those watching. During one stream, he was apparently having difficulty controlling his temper, reacting more strongly than usual, and Sean Ranklin created a compilation showcasing this.
Come the fuck on, man! Real talk! Dude, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a little kid.
He's acting like a little kid. Oh, I remember this. I remember seeing something about this. How people just were fucking him so hard. Oh my god.
Where'd he fucking leave, dude? Like, if somebody could give me, like, their information, like their name, their address, the number, how to get in contact with these guys, I would really like to know, because, like, I'm seriously considering...
No, you can't say that, bro.
So, no, they're joining through recent players.
This is annoying.
Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it, so stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about. I'm banning anybody trying to give me advice. Real talk.
What the fuck? gonna laugh. You're a little kid. Someone in the chat's like, you're a little kid, a grown man yelling at a kid because he loses a game. Bro, you know what's even crazier? It's like you're a grown man playing games that are for kids. You know what I mean? Like, your fucking Call of Duty's for kids. Like, it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it as an adult. Like, you know what I'm saying? But these fucking things, these are shit that are for kids, bro. And you're gonna criticize a kid for playing a kid's game? It's like, what are you doing? I know people will say, Call of Duty's not a kid's game, bro. Well, that's how I know you're a kid, okay? I'm just kidding. Fucking with you. I know Call of Duty fans get really upset when I criticize them. Look here, listen. That's all I have to say. I enjoy Fortnite. Fair enough. Fair enough. Big kid. Yeah, me too, man. I'm fucking sitting here playing a fucking game too. Yeah, I'm chilling. Vibing in the Ritz car. You know what I'm saying? I love all these crap. Shorty, you're scaring me so much. Please stop. I can't move.
Alright, guys. I give up. I don't know what I'll stream again. I really need to make this fucking money. I really wanted to get this fucking surgery, man. I wanted it so fucking bad. I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
I'm not trying to, like, laugh, but, dude, you realize that you don't need to win a game to stream this game, right? Like, he's just fucking... If people are trolling me, he's like, oh my god, bro, stop it. Or just play a different fucking game and chill for a little bit. So caught up in the numbers. It's just kind of fucking funny, though. He's crying. He's like, I'm back on the street. It's like, it's just, I feel like he's being a little manipulative shit fuck, because he's like, oh, guys, I don't know if I can stream it. Like, I don't know if I want to stream anymore or whatever. But it's like, you could still stream. You just don't want to because you're losing. That's the problem. You're losing at the stream, so you're making it seem like it's a fucking end of the world and you can't stream anymore. That's a you fucking problem, dude. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ.
All I wanted to do was, like, I was fucking lonely. I wanted to fucking stream and have a good time. Have a good game. I hate my life.
Bro, come on. This is embarrassing, my man. What are you doing with yourself? Listen, I've gotten frustrated too playing games. Just like, stop playing that game. Play something else. Be like, fuck, guys, I'm just too tilted right now. I can't fucking play this shit. I'm getting pissed. And people make fun of me, like, whatever, fuck you. You know what I mean? You gotta be the champion of your own shit. I don't mean to laugh at this guy crying. It's sad, but it's fucking ridiculous. This is me when I was playing games when I was 10. Yeah, for sure, bro.
This video quickly went viral, and as of today, it has 1.4 million views. With the success of this first video, Sean would continue creating highlight videos of Jordy's streams, focusing on perceived faults in his character. The success of Sean Ranklin's channel encouraged similar compilation channels, and over the months, more and more would appear, combing through his streams to find moments that they found particularly egregious or of entertainment value. References to these videos would begin to populate his stream chat, especially memorable phrases from Sean's first upload, such as "look here, look, listen," and variations on "ban anyone who tries to give me advice." He would audibly order his mods to ban anyone who used certain terms or said certain things, but these bans were easily circumvented with new accounts.
Look at that bullshit, dude. I put so many hours into Rainbow Six, and all I've done is lose viewers. I lost 5 subscribers while playing Rainbow Six. 5. I was struggling to keep 150 views. I'm almost at 300. On a game I fucking hate. It's a game I fucking hate, dude. I detest this game. This game makes me hate fucking life. It really does. And motherfuckers that come in here just to watch this shit, I hate you too. I literally do.
What the fuck? Dude, this guy's an asshole. Like, that's so weird. I have to stop caring about fucking views, bro. Like, I have low views, I guess, right now on my Twitch, and I don't give a shit. Like, we're vibing. People are chilling here, they're vibing. And for whatever fucking reason you guys enjoy this shit, which is cool, because I do too. You know what I mean? Just fucking freaking out, acting like these people are horrible for enjoying content that you're making. It's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Oh my god.
I wish you just wouldn't show up so I didn't have to play this shit. So, like, it would just fail, like Rainbow Six.
With pressure now coming from viewers looking to antagonize him, Jordy continued to lean more and more heavily onto the idea that some form of bariatric surgery would improve and even fix his life. On December 2nd, 2017...
Isn't that always the way that we fucking operate as people, though? It's like, oh, this will do better, this will make me better, this will make me better. You know what I mean? It's like, it's always something else that'll make you better. But it never fucking, you know, it's it's always like, oh, I'll start doing this when I do this, or I'll start doing this when I get this, right? Like, honestly, I've been engaged in that too. I'm being a fucking asshole. Like, I'll start working out once I build a home gym, but I haven't been putting in the effort to build the home gym, which is like obviously my fucking lazy bullshit fault. I gotta get my shit together. Because I really do like lifting a lot. I'm gonna heal that guy because I'm a cool guy. But that's just the way it is, man. Like, we push shit off, we're like, oh, I'll do it when I do this. And it's like, dude, you sometimes just gotta do your shit. I guess I'm just trying to speak to myself right now because I'm fucking lazy as shit, man.
He posted a video to his channel to solicit opinions from his viewership. He noted that he was considering multiple kinds of surgery, but more importantly, he had yet to decide where he would receive it. If he chose America, it would cost in excess of $25,000.
Dude, you know what I don't like about these weight loss surgeries is that once you do that, you can't eat the foods you like anymore. And obviously, you should be changing the foods you're eating because they're having a profoundly negative impact on you. But it's like, you could just not eat the bad foods. You know what I mean? Like, don't eat the bad foods anymore. You're gonna have to be like that anyway. The difference is basically these surgeries just make you so sick you don't want to eat. It's really not. It's not good. And I don't think most people really take to the surgery well anyway. That's just like a waste of fucking money, man.
$1,000, but if he went to the Mexico Bariatric Center, the total cost would be closer to $6,000, and since his income had decreased significantly over the years, the latter was proving the more favorable.
Like, this surgery scares me to shit. But, like, I'm at a point in my life where it's like I'm 31. I got nothing going for me other than, like, a Twitch and YouTube channel, and, like, I'm chronically unhappy with my entire life.
Bro, a half-hour walk a day is so positive. I think I'm gonna make myself walk today after I stream. My mama got home. Mama is home. I'm gonna walk with her. I'm gonna kiss her because I love her very much, and she's the most important thing to me. So that's what I think I'm gonna do when she gets home.
And like, I hate video games. Like, there's no joy left in them. Like, I do them. I've been doing them. I've had to play for like 10 hours a day for 10 years.
Dude, that's
this is $3,995. I have that money now. I literally have that money now. Part of me gets...
Dude, that's fucking crazy. I mean, I'm not, like, it's so funny because I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm not, like, the biggest gamer. I do a lot of commentary. I've been just playing games when they're fun to play, I guess. But 10 hours, bro? Fuck. 10 fucking hours, man. I could never do that. I can't sit down for 10 hours. Like, I've been doing maybe 4 or 5 hour streams, get some commentary in, get up, do the rest of my work and stuff, because I have to do a little bit of editing and thumbnails, you know? Shit like that, but fuck, 10 hours, I would fucking poop my pants, bro.
It's excited thinking about it that by the summer of next year, I might not be a fat dude anymore. If I go this route, I could pursue things outside the house that I normally wouldn't do. I'd have better energy. I wouldn't be a slave to food. I wouldn't be a prisoner of my own body anymore. I might be able to find a loving relationship that will last and not people that will give up on me because I can't be as mobile or as active as a boyfriend.
I feel like people probably don't give up on you for that. You just seem like a douchebag, bro. I'm like, no fucking, not trying to be rude to you, but you seem like a fucking asshole. You seem like the kind of guy who's just not worth dating. I'm not trying to be rude, you're mean. And the food probably has an impact on that. Because food has a pretty big impact on a lot of things, so possibly, but I don't know, man. You know, eat some broccoli sometimes, I feel, you know?
Needs to be.
Even so, the failure rate of the Mexican doctor was significantly higher than that of the American doctor. Soon, he began soliciting donations for the surgery during his streams in the event he chose to get it in America.
Well, hey, listen, it's cheap enough. You just get 2 of them. So if there's a 50% fail rate, well, you get 2 of them and you get 100%. No big deal. You know what I mean? Not bad. Not bad at all.
As he found out on which doctor to visit, the most dedicated among the new group of detractors would congregate in servers hosted on Discord with names such as Whale Watchers and Sean Ranklin fans, and soon, at least one had in excess of 1,000 members. What was perhaps more remarkable was that when Jordy became aware of these Discord servers, he requested to join them so that he could have a discussion with their denizens, and many people eagerly obliged his request for conversation. It appears that this meeting took place in early 2018, recorded and uploaded by Wingstings in a video edited to highlight what they found to be the most interesting parts.
You would make videos that just trash me unremercifully. You guys have kept me up crying so many nights.
Oh my god, so sad.
People said videos being made, and the fact is, like
listen, I'm hot take here, alright? Sometimes shit gets to me too, okay? I'm just gonna be honest with you. But I don't tell people that, because that just inspires more shit. Like, you gotta keep that, you should tell people that are close to you that kind of shit. But I know that toxic masculinity is keeping your feelings inside, but sometimes you should keep them inside. Maybe just express them to people that are close to you, you know? Not to strangers who think it's funny that you get upset. Because they're like, wow, Jordy, are you telling me that when I make the content that makes you upset, that about you being upset, it makes you upset, and then I get more content to make? Oh, I'm so sad, man. Like, no, they're going to be like, wow, good. That's what I want. They're going to do it more. What are you doing? Oh my god.
You're going to hurt my chances to get a job later on in life. Why do you feel the need to pick on me, though? Like, seriously, like,
Like, to be brutally honest with you, right? The only reason that these channels exist is because you react.
Because I react, but I can't stop reacting. I'm never going to stop reacting. It's part of my personality. The fact is, like, how am I supposed to move on if you guys keep creating things?
Ignore it.
You can't ignore it. You can't ignore it, dude.
You can ignore it. You can.
I mean, this is this is the type of behavior that is why he's fat, right? I'm not trying to be rude, but it's the I can't control myself mentality. Because you can. Yeah, I get it. Different people are different. Hot take. Oh my god, very explosive. Different people are different. I totally get it. But you have a level of control over yourself. So you may not be able to control that you get really angry. You might have an anger problem. Okay. But you can control the way that you operate when you're really angry. Or you can control your ability to identify when you're getting angry to disengage. And you can control, like, not responding to the criticism from people that are fucking assholes. Like, you have a level of control. It's just fucking... This is why he's overweight, though. Because when he's still like, hey, you should eat less, he's like, I can't control it, so it's not my problem. That's the problem. When people decide in their mind that they can't control a thing, then they no longer have control over that thing. I understand that there are things in life that you really cannot control, but I really don't think that this is one of them. He's just full of fucking dog diarrhea. Like, you can control your eating. It's hard. I get it. I understand having a negative relationship with food, because I do too. But, you know, you can't just fucking chalk everything up to not being able to control it. That's just shitty.
Purchase fans,
man. Kill us soon. What's that?
Just take the fuck
you, bitch.
Just delete the channels.
Can't take this shit no more, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're fucking asshole. You're an asshole. You realize that? You're making fun of an honest reaction. Like in real life, I really do. I would beat your fucking teeth in.
And look, what happened? I said the thing. People are going to feed off of making you upset. They want this reaction to it. What are you doing?
Beat your fucking teeth in, dude. I really would.
Right.
You don't doubt that. What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do? Put your bitch ass in the kneecap. That's what I'd do. I'd hit your ass and you, and then I'd beat you with a fucking pistol grip until your teeth fell out your head.
Oh my god.
I hate you.
This guy's a fucking
so fucking much, dude. Like, literally. Like, I've done nothing to you guys. I've done literally zero to you. You're not helping me.
Like, when I'm losing games, sometimes I scream stuff like this. Well, not really so much anymore. But, like, I'll be like, fuck you, I hope you fucking shit your pants, you know, that kind of stuff. I get pretty angry. But to say it to a person is just, it's fucking terrible. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get real, you know, sometimes you can't necessarily control your thoughts, but you can control your actions from those thoughts. So you're going to sit here and tell people, like, fucking people that they should be dead. You're going to beat them to death with a gun. Like, that's literally illegal. What are you doing?
You're motherfucking sitting online right now with, like, a picture of me, like, tears on his face. You're sitting with a channel dedicated to me. Your whole YouTube channel is dedicated to me. You have a shrine of how much you worship me.
In the end, little came of this meeting for Jordy besides further ridicule. But besides making new enemies, he would quite suddenly encounter an old one. During one of his live streams in early 2018, he...
Wait, hold on a second. Is this Wings of Redemption live on right now? Is he playing Genshin Impact? No, that's just his Wings of Redemption 2. There's no way that's him. I'm dumb. Sorry guys, I'm a fucking idiot.
He noted, quote, I don't like Keemstar. I want nothing to do with him. If I had my way and I could will it, I wish he would get in a car wreck. I literally do. He's the only person I can think of right now that I wish would literally die.
I'm dead serious. Like, if somebody deserved to die on this planet, Daniel King would be one of them. I mean, that's good.
I mean, listen. Keemstar is an asshole. I wouldn't say that, but that's terrible. Jesus Christ.
I'm serious. Like, if you wanted to do Sharia law, Daniel King should be one of the first people to die and have his hands up. A despicable person. And that is word to your mother truth right there.
You know, Dan, you know what's so crazy? Keemstar is such a worthless, shitty person. But what's so interesting is that, like, these are people on, like, drama channels that have actual, like, real life impact.
5:30.
So, like, we talk about fucking Keemstar as if he's goddamn Hitler, but he's really not that. Like, he's comparatively, he's not that bad.
Alrighty, I have some snacks right now, so that'll keep me busy.
Bad. So I feel like we should I think he's such a shitty person. Like, to sit here and be like, he deserves to die. It's like, I wouldn't say he deserves to die. Like, there's probably people who deserve to die first, you know? Like my dad, he deserves to die. He's a fucking scum fuck loser, you know what I mean? Hashtag sperm donor, you know, you guys. Alright, let's get back on.
Shortly afterward, Keemstar would upload a video voicing his displeasure upon learning of this comment.
I laughed my ass off. Clay laughed his ass off, and Overflow laughed his ass off. And the more I thought about it, the laughter just turned into anger. I'm mad. Now, should I be mad? No. Wings is known for saying dumb, stupid shit, and is never held accountable for his words. So, yeah, I shouldn't be mad, but I am. And the reason why I'm mad is because Wings said that I'm evil. I'm the most evil person that he's ever met. But then went on to say that I should die. He went on to say that I should die. You have 1 hour to agree with a fucking debate with me, or I'm taking this to Twitch staff, and they're going to decide whether or not it was a death threat or not. I'm not playing any games.
The two would confront each
That's
other.
funny, I tend to agree with him on that one. Like, okay, I get that. That's pretty fucked up.
Or once again in a live stream, during which they would attack and insult each other, enumerating how each of them had somehow wronged the other or had committed morally reprehensible actions over the years. But this time, where Jordy once had been in a position of power, he was now much weaker in terms of influence.
Yeah, bro, I just have to say that this is a very, I like, maybe it's just the subject matter, because, but this is probably this is a very well done video, because, like, we're like, building. I remember the part where they met the first time, him and Keemstar. Keemstar was trying to do platformer, but he was the bigger content creator, and he did act recklessly like an asshole with Wings. But it's like, okay, cool. But now the position, the roles are reversed, and it's like, oh my god, this is so fucking, like, this is like a goddamn movie where, like, Keemstar is the good guy somehow. It's fucking insane.
States is I don't like who you are as a person, and in my personal experience, you're one of the worst people I've ever met.
You think that Jordy or Wings was trying to do this for, like, attention, just to be provocative intentionally, so that he can get some attention from Keemstar or something, or just in general to make him more relevant again? Because I wouldn't doubt he was just trying to be intentionally provocative so people would pay attention to him.
Like, on a moral standpoint.
I tried to help you so many times. I got you involved with the Billionaires Challenge thing.
How about after the Billionaires Challenge, where you and Blade decided to sit there and make fun of me and call me a retard, saying that you hope Wings continues to make videos forever so you can laugh at me? What about that?
But that's the strongest thing you have going for you. I mean, Wings things...
What about the lie you just said just a while ago where you said you're Wing Tings? What about, you're not Wing Tings.
And I'll tell you what, Wing Tinks is entertaining. And you know why it's entertaining? Because it's all your fuck-ups. Like you crying and you being upset. That is the most entertaining thing about you. I'm sorry, Wings, but it is. It always has been.
And I'm trying to use that to better myself. I got the surgery. I'm gonna get the surgery done. I'm gonna shed one of my biggest catalysts in my...
I got the surgery. I'm gonna get it done. You can't blame me for it, because it's so fucked up. Hey guys, I'm so fat that my action... It's not my fault. My fat made me do it. Like, is that the fucking response here? It's not my fault. My obesity made me a bad person. It's like, come on, bro. You can't keep saying that. And how many times are you gonna say I'm working on it? I'm working on it. I'm working on it before we, like, really keep working on a whole ass Domino's pizza, bro. By the way, I used to eat so much Domino's. I'm fucking hungry tonight, but I'm gonna be good tonight. And I'm gonna have chicken. So, fuck me. Oh, no, actually, I'm having turkey sausage. I'm having breakfast for dinner. No, I'm not. I had breakfast for dinner last night. I'm gonna have turkey sausage, macaroni and cheese, whole wheat. Right, yesterday I had whole wheat. I've been eating these Kodak Power waffles and shit. They're so good. And they're made of whole wheat. I'm trying to get my shit together. Eating a lot of whole wheat. You know, big boy.
Entire life, hopefully. Hopefully I can find the strength to do that.
As these streams with Jordy tended to go, he began speaking about his own personal anxieties and struggles.
And, like, I don't have, like, I'm not in the case where I'm like, just a dude that's like 250 pounds, like, oh, this didn't work out, let me fall back on my metallurgy fucking degree. Well, it's not degree, but, like, job. Like, my metallurgy job.
What?
Right? I can't do that. I'm 450-pound land monster that has atrophied muscles. Like, what the future for me, if I stop this at this point in time, is to go telemarket or work in some kind of call center or, cut movie tickets or something like that. Which is, that's a good living for a lot of people, but, like, it's not what I want for me.
It's so funny that he, like earlier on, he was like, he said some dumb shit about manual labor, and like people that do manual labor are like basically fucking losers or something. And that's like, because what did they do in life to get there? It's so fucking silly.
Right? And like,
this is so boring. You're literally giving me the, like, victim card, sad card stuff.
Whatever you want to call it, man. Like, the fact is,
What
Why don't you just stop being a victim? Why don't you just stop being a victim? All right. I'm sorry. I'm getting loud and angry.
I'm trying to stop being
a victim.
I'm trying to stop being a victim. Why do you think I'm working toward bettering myself?
I'm going to give you real advice. This is real advice. All right. Percent. This is like not Keemstar. This is Dan Keem talking to Jordy. You have been doing this for a very long time, and as you do this online internet stuff, what happens with your health and your happiness? Nothing. All right. The only way you are ever going to be happy, honestly, is by quitting the internet.
Around this time, Jordy seemed to have made up his mind about getting bariatric surgery, believing that it was the only way that he feasibly could lose weight. While he was still considering both America and Mexico as options, he learned that the American doctor would refuse to perform the operation unless he could reduce his weight to 400 pounds. While Jordy would sometimes share his weight, viewers were consistently dubious about his honesty, as he had a history of bending the truth. For example, in 2013, while recording a podcast, he had claimed that he had been shot in the leg after shouting at a man breaking into his mother's car, but he would later admit that this scenario was a fabrication. In this case, he claimed to be 460 pounds. He also revealed that he was prescribed a medication called Lexapro, an antidepressant used to control the effects of anxiety. But almost immediately after he stated his intentions, his life would undergo a sudden and violent interruption. On March 6th, only 2 days after the video about his bariatric surgery, he uploaded a video entitled, "So, I Got Swatted," which shows his stream with an empty chair and the sounds of a SWAT team in the background. At one point, a SWAT team member walks in front of the camera for a short time. During this video, they ask who might have called in the team, and Jordy can be overheard giving a particular compilation channel name.
Damn, dude. That's fucked up when people swap people. That's fucking shit.
This came shortly after the high-profile case of Andrew Finch, who was killed in a swatting incident, and in light of this development, Wingstings deleted their channel, citing their discomfort with the troll community. Unsurprisingly for onlookers, Jordy was unable to lose the weight in the time frame he had.
That's honestly, like, impressive. Like, that, like, so I'm assuming there's so many meme pages, but it got so bad that the meme pages were like, you know what, like, we're gonna not meme this, or at least this one guy's like, I think I'm gonna stop memeing you because I don't want you to die. That's pretty crazy. Like, I mean, I respect that. I mean, I know he's a troll and everything, but, you know, I wouldn't expect that much from a troll, so I'm kind of impressed.
He had set for himself, and so he committed to getting the surgery in Mexico, though the ponderous way he went about planning it made onlookers dubious about his resolve. In the meantime, new channels were appearing that copied Sean Ranklin's style of highlighting moments from Jordy's streams. What's remarkable about these highlights, however, is that they would not only highlight his moments of rage and frustration, but also genuinely humorous moments, creating a surprisingly broad view of Jordy. However, the comments would reveal the most prevalent reason for viewers to watch these videos, as did the donation messages, such as one that read, quote, "Can you call your grandma? I have a turd stuck up my ass and I need help getting it out." People would...
That's funny, because he had the story about his grandmother figuring his ass. He probably lied about that story too. It's probably why it pisses him off so much when people fucking troll him about it. That's fucking funny though. That's funny. I better get credit for this. I'm gonna fart my pants.
Tease him with his verbal tics such as real talk, look here, and big ups, as well as frequently quoting Sean Ranklin's first video. They would also come up with numerous names for him. For example, upon discovering documentation that someone had at least once lived at Jordy's address by the name of Richard, people began to suspect that this was Jordy's legal first name. While this rumor proved untrue, calling Jordy Richard clearly upset him.
It's so funny because I was watching like a meme thing about that. I was like, somebody, he said that people called him Richard, and that's, but those, they got him food, right? They're having like a conversation with his girlfriend and their wife now, and apparently somebody got him food, and he's like, yeah, one of the trolls did it, and she's like, why do you think it's a troll? He's like, well, he calls me Richard. He's like, oh yeah, and I was like, what does that matter? Like, what the fuck is that? Now I understand why calling somebody named Richard is a troll thing.
And so people began calling him variations of it, with one common comment becoming Big Ups Liquid Richard. They also began teasing him for his love of Wendy's chili and microwaved banquet meals, which he would occasionally eat on stream. By this point, he had become openly vocal about the reason he continued to stream.
The only way I play this game is in hopes to get donations and subscriptions. Like that's the only reason I'm playing it.
In a somewhat surprising turn of events, the members of the Painkiller Already podcast began discussing Jordy as well, speculating whether or not he would receive the surgery for which he had pined for years. Most notably, on April 23rd.
That's so fucked up. Like, he had a part in making this whole podcast, right? This was basically his podcast, no? and then now it's boiled down to sometimes they'll talk about him in a negative light. Like, that's so fucked, bro. Holy shit. That is just fucked. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm looking for this fucking recipe.
First, the Painkiller Already podcast hosted content producer Mr. Medicare, and a significant portion of the episode was dedicated to Woody and Kyle describing Jordy and his numerous misadventures, told with a derisive and comedic zeal. Sean Ranklin, using a quote from Kyle, released a video on March 22nd, 2018, in which he describes a scene from one of Jordy's streams that he had seen highlighted from one of the compilation channels.
I was watching a stream clip the other day, and it was probably the darkest thing I'd ever seen in Wing's stream before. And this is me when I weighed, I want to say 240 pounds, and something happens. Something deep happens. He was like
Thanks for checking out the stream today. I'll be back soon with some more content for everybody to check out, and you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. So yeah, you have a wonderful week.